Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oregon Panthers Boys Hockey. My name is Zach Seeloff, and I'm joined as always by my partner, Dan Graychuk. Dan, great to be here with you tonight.
Always good to be here, Zach.
We are out at the Madison Ice Arena on the west side of Madison, where tonight the Oregon Panthers have traveled to take on their Big 8 rivals, Madison West Regents, in a cross-conference battle. Let's start with Oregon. You and I got to cover them on the radio in Monroe. Their last game was against the Monroe Avalanche co-op team. 5-0 in that game, and it was a very interesting game. The last time Oregon played Monroe at Oregon, they just took them apart 11-1. Monroe is a team that's really on the rise, and we saw that in that game. Still, we also saw what the Panthers can do, and in 5 minutes at the end of the second period, they took home 4 goals, and that basically was the difference in the game.
It really was. That 5 minutes made the biggest difference, and I know it was a big game for Monroe because they've been growing and gelling as the season's gone on, and that was a good test for them. And to see where they were when they lost 11-1, to keep it 5-0 may seem like a blowout, but I know that coach of Monroe was very, very pleased with that outcome. And you got to wonder if Oregon was a little disappointed with their level of play in that game.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit. We know they've had some upheaval. Coach Yachman resigned not that long ago, so Coach Tony Liebert is now acting as the interim head coach. He was the assistant interim head coach for this season, and they'll announce the position for a new person next year. That's a big change, especially at the high school level, I think, where coaching is such a big part of the gameplay. And we've seen from this team that when they are working as a unit, as we saw in the Edgewood game, when they work as a singular unit and as a team, they can really do some damage. But when they start to sort of get a little more on the individual side, start to cherry pick and look for plays as singular skaters, start to get into penalty trouble, that's where it can hurt them. They didn't have that so much in the Monroe game, but we saw flashes of it in previous games. And coming against a team like West here that's plays a difficult schedule in the Big 8 Conference and has had success, you're not going to be wanting to give them too many freebies.
No, you're not. And really the question is how much is Coach Leibert's system like Coach Yachman's? Because if you go midway through the season and start changing everything up, there's going to be that period of time where the kids have to buy into it, they have to execute. And let's be honest, Oregon has benefited from a very easy schedule. They haven't had a lot of big, hard components or opponents back to back. Madison West is not a team that you can skate into their building lightly, so it'll be interesting to see how they adjust. The last real big game we saw them play that we saw was against Edgewood, where they really played well. They had some success and a loss when they went out to the lacrosse area. This is really going to be the most recent test of their skills since Coach Yachman has left.
Yeah, and as we look at the remainder of the schedule, they are at Monona Grove Tuesday of next week for the start of the Groundhog Tournament. Then they'll have 2 more games, and those draws will be decided based on how the rest of the tournament goes. Then they're at Stoughton to end the month of January on January 30th, Tuesday. They've got Edgewood at home Thursday, February the 1st, which is going to be an enormous game. They're at Milton February 6th, and then they close out the season at home against Brookfield. So this is really, between this and the Edgewood game, these are the 2 big games remaining on their schedule. And in going into that seeding meeting, these are the kind of sort of resume wins, to use the college football term, that they want to have.
Yeah, and they really need to come out quick in this game. We haven't seen West since last season, but just watching them in warm-ups, they have a lot of size, a lot of speed. My thinking is they're going to play more of a physical game. They have very, very stable goaltending. So Oregon's going to have to play a little different of a style than they did against Edgewood. I think this is going to be a more physical match. I think this is going to be a more grinding game. And the biggest worry there is if Oregon gets into penalty trouble.
And then one last thing to consider about these teams. We mentioned that Coach Tony Liebert, now the interim head coach of the Oregon Panthers. The head coach of Madison West is Steve Liebert, and they are related. They are brothers. In fact, they coached the Middleton Cardinals together for 21 years. Since have gone on to other things. Now Coach Liebert, Coach Tony Liebert, the interim head for Oregon, and Coach Steve Liebert, the head coach for Madison West. That's got to be just sort of a strange meeting for them after having worked together for so long and being brothers, now being on opposite sides of the bench.
Well, that just means each side knows what the other one's going to be doing, and if they like a specific type of system, which most coaches do, it's going to be easy to see that each side is going to be looking for something different, something just to change things around a bit. Coach Liebert for Oregon knows the team he has. Obviously, Coach Liebert for West knows what kind of team he has. The question is how are they going to find the weaknesses and holes and exploit them?
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the start of this game. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Oregon Panthers boys hockey on OCAmedia. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to OCAmedia's presentation of Oregon Panthers boys hockey. They're getting ready to take on the Madison West Regents, who are hosting them here at the Madison Ice Arena. It's youth night tonight, so stay tuned during the first period intermission. We're going to have some youth hockey for you during that time. Dan, just before we get started here, big game like we talked about at the start of this for the Panthers. Even though this is outside of their Badger South Conference schedule, this is an important matchup for them, particularly in terms of the seed that they're hoping to get going into the state tournament. What do they need to do early against a big physical Madison West team that features some serious star power?
They're going to have to use their speed and quick passing and their creativity in setting up plays as they go. They've been good all season and last season at dealing with broken plays and being creative enough. That's what they're going to need to do in a game like this, is move that puck quick, adjust quick, be creative and patient.
As they came out of the huddle there, they all look like they have quite a bit of energy. We've got the #1 line starting: Carson Timberlake, Hayden Bell, Tyson Rohrer, Zach Roscos, and Tristan Hughes, with Jacob Ayers in net. For Madison West, it'll be Dean Furman, Colin Polkerbeck, Drake Baldwin, Sam Loving, and Devin Huey, with Adam Buen-Camino in net. Drake Baldwin is leading the Big 8 Conference with 41 points, 24 goals, and 17 assists. So the faceoff will be between Tristan Hughes and Baldwin, and we are underway. 17 minutes per period in the high school game, 3 periods, and then we go to overtime if we need to. Nice job by Hughes lost his edge, but stuck to that puck, able to put it into the Region zone, but they quickly re-grab and send it out. Entering now is Baldwin. He feeds it across, held to the blue line. Region send a quick shot, and the bouncing puck gloved off the bottom of the ice by Ayers. A nice pickup there on a difficult shot.
And right away we saw that West was playing the body quick. They want to try and make a price to be paid for every inch of the ice, and those ugly battles along the boards, that's where West is going to have their biggest impact.
16:42 to play in the first period. The Panthers win the defensive faceoff in their own zone. Hayden Bell controls on that far wall, trying to move it forward, but West able to intercept. They send out to the blue line. Errant pass goes all the way into neutral ice where Furman takes it. His attempt to send back in, blanks off his own player, and here comes Hughes. Great cross-ice pass to Rohr. Rohr swings over the top, tries to turn around on it. Can't do it with 16:24 to go. Comes to the near wall where Bell will step up, send through all the way to the near side. West looking to turn this one around defensively. Furman has it. Great chop out of the air by Zach Roscoe. Feed into center for Rohr, no good, and West has this one. Cross-ice pass moves forward to Polkerbeck. He loses control and is taken away by Timberlake. Across to Bell with an even 16 minutes to play. Still scoreless here in the first period. Puck in the Panther zone, controlled by their captain, Carson Timberlake. Comes up the near side as he scoots through neutral ice. Tries to dump it in. Nice turnaround. And a good effort, though, by Laszlo Rose at the blue line to keep that one from coming the other way in transition. Puck bangs off a stick. No icing the call as that one tapped off a Panther blade. And we will carry this one for Ryan Mitchell. Mitchell finds a Rose, but it's taken away by Connor Huey. Huey works into center, but it comes to the near wall with 15:40 to play. Trying to move it back. Instead, it's taken by Colton Ayers. Ayers moves it forward to a Rose cross ice to Damon, too strong, but Damon's getting on his horse after this one. Hand is up for icing, though, and we'll head back to the Panther zone for a faceoff.
This has been a really quick pace for the first minute and a half of this game. They're skating hard each side. Nobody's getting a clear advantage. But again, what we're seeing is Oregon is capitalizing on broken plays. They did it on the 2-on-1 with Hughes coming this way. So again, they're finding ways to make things happen.
Colton Ayers in the faceoff dot loses. West fires a shot. It's well wide of the cage, and near side it'll be picked up by Damon. Cross ice picked off. A nice pick off by Riley Lanham. West moving it forward and get it into the Panther zone where Mitchell will have it defensively with 15:17 to go. Taken again by Damon on the near side. He's hassled by two different regions, trying to move it up that wall. Now he taps it forward. He's got a step on his man. 2-on-1 with Laszlo Rose. Takes the shot, fired, and a blocker save. Still got the puck, tries to move it into center, can't do it. 15:03 to go. West has it in their own zone. Send up the far wall. Turning it back around is Jiang. Now being hassled by Laszlo, pushing some, but Jiang sends it across, and West looking to break it out here. Tip it high off the glass and send forward. Timberlake in center ice gets it for Colton Ayers. Ayers across to Strassman, but it's broken up and now skated forward, this time by Riley Lanham. Big hit against the wall. Student section likes that one. And instead it will be taken away by Jake Fountain for the Panthers. Fountain moves it ahead. Strassman trying to get there first. Instead the Regents have it. Send it to their own blue line with 14:33 to play. Nearly broken up by the Panthers, but a nice hold by Dean Furman. Furman comes in 2-on-2 for Regents. Drops it off and it ends up behind the net. Furman still skating around, being challenged by Zymek and Bell. Now scoots this one across to Charlie Cutting, back into center for the West. Wind and a shot from Furman just wide. Man, turned around 270 degrees to get a slapper on that one. Strassman at the point being challenged very hard, but Zymek adds there and manages to knock it free. Puck still stuck in front of the penalty benches here. Zymek will take it. They move it around, and Hayden Bell cross ice to Strassman. He'll chip it in and go for a change. Dean Furman for West moves it forward to Drake Baldwin. Baldwin, the leading scorer, cuts towards the high slot. Great backhanded pass, finds his teammate. Feed through center, goes too long. And that feed coming from Polkerbeck. Now they move it forward to Rohr. Rohr stripped of it in center ice, sent back into the Panther zone. Good geometry pass there, and they move it forward to Rohr. Rohr near side face-off dot, trying to turn around, finds Hughes with 13:36 to play. Back to Rohr on the near side, cutting to the far side now, going all the way up the wall, turns it around the other direction. Hughes will pick this one up on the near wall, tries to shield his man away, and the delayed penalty coming. We'll get the signal from the referee with 13:26 to go. It's going to be a hooking call against Devin Huey. 2 minutes of a power play for the Panthers.
And again, it was the speed of Oregon that was able to draw that penalty. So now we want to see how they're going to do on the power play. If they're able to move the puck as well in the power play as they have in the past minute or so, I think they're going to have a good shot. But again, West does a good job of keeping everything to the outside.
Hooking call against West with 13:26 to go. 2-minute power play for the Panthers. They win the faceoff. Hughes has it at the near point. Panthers look to set up on offense. Moves across to Timberlake on the far side. Back to Hughes center point now. Drops it inside off the skate of West. And here comes West. Possible 3-on-1. They'll dump that one in and chase after it. Ayers well out of the crease. Drops it behind the net for Hughes. And here comes Hughes the other way. 13:05 to play in the first period, minute 37. Another pickoff, this time by Connor Huey. Huey in the slot, shot deflected up into the glass. Hughes gets it on the far side. Great drop off from Hughes to Roscos, now across to Timberlake and ahead to Hayden Bell. Bell now skating in, he's got Rohrer with him, drops it off and finds Roscos. Roscos in the slot, skates around with it, trying to get it to the point as he's hassled by West. And West finds Drake Baldwin all alone. One-on-one break for the leading scorer, backhand through the legs and a score. Drake Baldwin with a clear breakaway goes 5-hole on the backhand, gets the shorthanded goal for the West Regions.
That is a goal scorer's goal because as he came in, he went backhand, forehand to get the goaltender to shift, which opens those legs up. Not a hard shot, not a heavy shot, just a quick poke. And that's that opportunistic style of West, and that's why we see that Drake Baldwin is the leading scorer.
His 25th goal of the year, and it makes it 1-0 on the shorthanded effort. The home team, Madison West, out to the early lead. Panthers still on the power play for a minute 5 here, trying to get it out of their own zone. Instead, it's going to be held by Sam Loving and sent back down. Panthers with 58 seconds to go on the power play. Tyler Damon moves it forward, and here comes Oregon. Laszlo Rose picking up speed through neutral ice as he goes to the far side. To the outer hash marks now, looks to get it into center. He finds Colton Ayers. Ayers' backhand chance is broken up by the Panthers. We've got a hand up. I believe we're going to get a tripping call coming up here against the Panthers. Hooking, actually, the call, and it's Colton Ayers that will hit the box. We'll have 43 seconds of 4-on-4 and then a minute 17 of a West power play.
That's a bad penalty to take in the offensive zone while you're already on a power play. I'm thinking there was maybe they added a little bit of energy going to the ice on that one. It didn't seem as a clear-cut hook to me. But either way, the ref calls it, and now we are 4-on-4 for 43 seconds, and then that's going to give West a chance on the power play.
12:09 to play in this first period. West on top 1-0 thanks to the shorthanded goal of Drake Baldwin. Ryan Mitchell controls for the Panthers. Now feed all the way across. Rose can't stop it with the skate, and skating back in is Connor Furman. Both teams even at 4-on-4. Furman works his way to the low slot, loses about a big hit, winding a shot, and it's broken up by Gage Shilgen. Doesn't allow it to get to the net. Shielding that one is Connor Huey for West. Rose picks it up, sends it behind the referee where Gage Shilgen will dig it out. 19 seconds in the 4-on-4. 11:42 to play in the period. That one stopped with a hand by Riley Lanham, but now knocked out into neutral ice. Damon gets his man down, and here he takes it 1-on-2. Damon trying to find a way in. He'll skate around as he gets a 4-man line change for his team, sends it back in, but West stops it, and Marcus Mack will take it. Mack hassled at center ice, finds Baldwin again. Baldwin top of the circle, around his man into the low slot. Shot and a score! And it's Drake Baldwin just as the penalty had expired. He gets the score, and with 11:21 to go, that will end the penalty against Colton Ayers. A 5-on-4 score for Drake Baldwin.
So far Baldwin has a shorthanded goal, a power play goal. All he needs now is an even straight goal, and he'll get a hat trick of a hat trick, which
Indeed.
is each side. And the little toe drag he did just below the dot is what pulled the defense, and he was able to get in the middle. Great shot by Baldwin.
Regents on top 2-0 with 11:19 to play in the first period. They control, but the long pass goes a bit too long, and Timberlake has it. Regents able to force it back into the Panther zone where Tristan Hughes will skate it around. Hughes picking up a lot of speed here through center ice, goes all the way to the near side, dodges his man and hangs on to the puck. Trying to wrap around far side. Backhand shot is saved by Boyne Camino, and the Regents are coming the other way. That pass strong, it'll be picked up by Hayden Bell, sent back out of the zone. No, trapped on the blue line and held in. Roscos, though, able to move it across. Find Tyson Rohrer in center ice. Rohrer chips at it and knocks it into the Regents zone. Regents pick it up, send it dangerously toward their own net, but are able to clear it into the center zone. 10:42 to go. Hughes moves across to Hayden Bell. He'll settle back down, try to get it to Rohrer. Broken up by Drake Baldwin, but Rohrer now able to send it to center ice. No, forced forward by Elliott Held. Held still battling on the forecheck, trying to dig this one in as his team gets a full change. 10:27 to play. Puck stuck on the near wall here in front of Oregon. Now being dragged out and taken by West, sent further down. Now working its way into the low slot. Shot blocked up. Second shot, a pad save. Quick reaction from Jacob Ayers. Puck on the near wall for Timberlake. Ahead to Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer's got Laszlo across. He finds him. Here comes Laszlo Rose. Top of the far circle. Shot and a blocker save. And the puck picked up by Alex Duchesne. Duchesne moves it across to the far side, but instead Tyler Damon takes it. He goes down hard into his man. West still trying to clear here, playing with the skate, but the Panthers grab it, and Damon has it center point, lifts a shot well high over the cage, but it works its way into the front. Duchesne able to clear it. Shevin moves that one forward to Charlie Cutting. We have another hand up, and we'll get the signal here. It's going to be a cross check.
I think it's a high stick.
Did he mean to signal high stick there? So high stick. High, so you're correct. High sticking against Tyler Damon, and another West power play coming up with 9:48 to go in the first period.
And the problem with that call is that there should have been an interference call about 3 seconds prior. I think the high stick came almost as a retaliatory thing. And again,
that's what gets you.
And that's what gets you. So again, Oregon finds themselves down a man here with 9:42 left in the first.
Faceoff is won by West. They get it to the far side point and control there. Move it across to Furman. Furman drops down for Baldwin, and West is set up on their offense. Furman's going to trade with Baldwin here, leaves it off for him center point. Baldwin wirefulls one in and scores. Drake Baldwin, a second power play goal, a hat trick for him already, and with 9:37 to play, Oregon is down 3-0.
And again, you saw he was working that right point. They do a quick switch so he can get in the middle, walk that line, goes high glove side. Really not much Ayers could do about that. That was a really, really well-placed screen, and that puts Oregon behind quick. I don't think we've seen Oregon in a game where they've been down this quick, this fast.
This is very unusual for them, unexplored territory for them. We'll see how they respond. The PA announcers, I will admit, have been very drastic in their approach to what seems to me to be pretty typical high school sports banter. But there you told them if people don't shut up, they're going to be sent home. So the PA announcer feeling his oats as Tyson Rohrer sends this puck forward through neutral ice. 9:27 to play as the Regents skated back. It's Dean Furman near side. He's being hassled by Rohrer, stick up high, but he doesn't pull with it. Now the puck knocked forward, and here comes Rohrer the other way. Possible 3-on-2 developing. Tries to get that one moving forward. He's stripped by Drake Baldwin, but I think Baldwin is going to be whistled here. Hooking is the call, and Drake Baldwin will spend 2 minutes in the box. Oregon with a chance to get one back.
Yeah, I don't think that one looked like it could have gone either way. I definitely understand that a call should have been made, but I guess I would have matched him up. But here's a chance for Oregon to claw their way back into this period. They've got a lot of time left, but they need to find some life here. They need to get one in the back of the net, make this a 2-goal lead.
Colt Myers wins it briefly for the Panthers. Excuse me. The Regents take it back behind the net though, and Devin Huey looking to move it around. Sends it back along to the near side as Elliott Held chases after it, but the Panthers regrab. Ryan Mitchick's got it behind the end line. Sends up the near wall for Laszlo Rose. Panthers set up on offense. Find Tyler Damon at the point. He sends one in, tries a deflection, actually knocks the stick right out of Elliott Held's hand, but it goes a bit wide of the cage. 8:50 to play in the first period. Minute 35 on the power play. Panthers steal another one back. It's Colt Myers, and he finds Laszlo. Laszlo near side dot, looks for the pass now. No shot available. Instead sends one in, deflection away, and Held tries to clear it, hits his own man. Still trying to get that one out in front of his skates. Ayers can't get a handle on it, and finally it is cleared in the person of Riley Lanham. Damon will take it for the Panthers. Damon, a nice move there at center ice as he looks to enter. Good hold by Laszlo to avoid the offsides, and Damon cuts back towards the point, finds Laszlo top of the near circle. Line shot just wide. Held by Gage Shiljan though on the far side. Center point Damon, he sends back, and it's a little bit out of the reach of Shiljan. Panthers will have to check up. 58 seconds on the power play, 8:10 to go. Great move by Damon, enters, fires, and the shot deflected away by Held. Second chance, no good, and he goes face first, and we get a late shot and a big fight here. Another shot from the Rose, and we are going to get a lot of penalties coming up from this one. Damon for goaltender interference for sure, roughing against Devin Huey for sure, and then we'll see how the rest falls out.
Yeah, and that's one that's going to get everybody's interest. That's going to end up being matching on a lot of different people.
Yeah, we'll have to let the referees sort this one out. A lot of discussion amongst the student sections as well.
Yeah, and now the question is what the calls are going to be, because again, the issue that I have with them going in is it looked like he got his arms up as he went into the goaltender.
They're going to give him a misconduct now, I think, for slapping the thing. We'll see here.
I think he did. Goaltender interference. Two-minute minors each. They're matching them up. Goaltender interference and roughing. So 18's going to get 2 minutes for roughing. Tyler Damon is going to get 2 minutes for goaltender interference. And again, that's one of those where it's anytime you make a contact with a goaltender like that, it's always going to end badly.
For sure. I am surprised that Huey didn't get more than that. Huey being number 18 for West. He dove in and delivered a punch to Tyler Damon, or at least tried to swing. I figured he would have gotten a major for that. But as you said, matching minors, it sounds like is going to be the call. which means we will have 4-on-3 for the Panthers for 51 seconds, then 4-on-4.
I think
we'll have
5-on-4
for the Panthers for 51 seconds, then 5-on-5 because of the matching minors. So the Panthers will stay on the power play because of the matching penalties. They can substitute immediately for both of those players.
Yeah, but this hurts Oregon a lot more. Taking Matt Damon, I keep taking Tyler Damon off the ice for 2 minutes is a bigger hit.
I would love to see Matt Damon get out on the ice here, but he's, I think, busy filming his next movie. So with 8:04 to go in the first, and after quite a bit of crosstalk on all of that, it does end up that we just have offsetting minor penalty. The off-ice officials are still yelling at the student section, so I assume we're going to have something come of that sooner rather than later. We'll let you know. With 8:04 to play in the first, West is on top 3-0, and the Panthers have a 5-on-4 power play for the remaining 51 seconds here. Off the face-off, Tristan Hughes able to take it right into West territory. Can't get a stick on, though, after 3 players hassle him, and that one is going to be cleared out by a saucer pass from Kieran Garvey. Jacob Ayers will stop it behind the Panther net. 38 seconds to go, 7:50 to play in the game. Excuse me, in the first period. And Tristan Hughes is going to carry once again for Oregon. Hughes moves around his man. The Panthers setting up here, looking to enter with all 5 players. Hughes stops at the near side point. Feeds across to far side Timberlake. Now center point, Hughes, winds, shot, save. Great pad save and a huge rebound, but they're not able to exploit it. Still controlled by Timberlake. He finds Roscos at the near dot. Roscos turning around there, getting hassled by the aggressive defense. Now he finds it low for Bell. A great blocker save from Wayne Camino on that shot. Roscos still behind the net, looking to distribute. Sends up far point Timberlake. Timberlake at the blue line, wind a shot, and just over the crossbar from Hughes. A great shot from well out at the center point. Both teams full strength as the penalty expires. Drake Baldwin trying to get after this one, but it's going to go down for icing. He looked to cherry pick as he came off the penalty bench. Both teams full strength now with 7:06 to play in the first.
They got a couple good looks, but the one problem with having Hughes on the blue line is he is such a force in front of the net. He really plays that position well, taking away the goaltender's eyes. So you really want somebody like that in front of the goaltender as some of those far shots come out.
Hughes, and you had mentioned this in a previous game, definitely getting a lot of ice time too. Seems to be double shifting as he tries on this face-off. The Panthers do win it. Control in the West zone. Great move by Gage Shilgen stepping up. His shot goes a little wide and comes behind the net. Taken there by Hughes. Backhand one-timer from Tyson Rohrer, no good. Mitchik swings over the top but holds possession, and a good alert play. Roscos now drops off, trying to control his Rohrer. He finds Hughes behind the net. Hughes in great position here, turning around. Low angle shot and a pad save from Wayne Camino. There's a stick on the ice here, one player without it. Now we find Hughes again, stepping his way up. Works around the player with no stick and wraps around far side. Shot and a save. Can't get in there as Rohrer, but he skates away with the puck with 6:32 to go. Rohrer working his way to the low slot, pokes one a little bit far. Roscos to Hughes, and a score! What a feed from Zach Roscos, and Tristan Hughes finishes it up.
And that was honestly, there was a goaltender who lost his stick. The defender did exactly what they were supposed
he gave
to.
him the stick.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So the problem was, as Elliott held number 20, the defensive player gave the goaltender the stick. And it should have been a forward that did it, because you saw Held down deep without a stick, unable to stop the puck, moved it across, and that's why that one went in. That was a lot of hard work, and they did, in fact, take advantage of the goaltender losing his stick there.
Absolutely, and like you said, Held doing everything he could, using his skate, using his breezers, but without a stick, just not as effective. And so 3-1 now with 6:27 to play in the first period as Oregon gets one back. They win this face-off, send it forward, but it's picked off by Dean Furman in his own zone and moves it ahead. Here comes Drake Baldwin's got a hat trick already on the night. Tries to move around his man, but it's kicked away by Carson Timberlake and sent into neutral ice with 6:13 to go. Furman intercepted by Laszlo Rose in neutral ice, and Rose sends one across for Jake Fountain. Fountain striding hard to get there before Kieran Garvey. Garvey, though, able to take it away for the Regents and skate behind his own net with an even 6 to play. That pass might come on net. It does not, and no icing the call. A surprising no icing call, but we'll play on. Timberlake on the near side, lifts high and into the rafters, well high. Timberlake kind of shaking his head at the no icing call, but that one up into the rafters will get the out of play space off.
Is it just me, or does it seem surprising that there's still 5:51 left in this period?
Oh my goodness. This has been an awful lot of hockey for not a whole lot of time to have come off the clock.
Oh yeah, they're fitting a lot of play into a very short period of time.
And as you said, 5:51 to go in this first period. Panthers down 3-1 on the home team, West Regents. Regents try to get a little light slapper in. The puck instead ends up on the near wall. Skating around is Hughes to pick it up in that far corner. Tries to move through to center, gets checked off of it and held in this time by Elliott Held, appropriately enough. Panthers still working with it at the far point. Instead, it's knocked back down to Nico Ronabot. Ronabot behind the Panther net, sticks with it, looks to feed into center. He does, but it goes all the way across to the far wall where it's taken by Held. Held moves up off the wall to Gian. Gian's shots is, oh boy, deflected right through the net mouth, but comes to the far wall with 5:18 to play. Still 3-1 in favor of the Regents. That puck stuck in the near corner of the Panther zone, trying to get this one out. They give it to Hughes. Hughes behind the net looking to quarterback a breakout. Finds Timberlake near side, now back to Hughes. Good forecheck pressure from the Regents has kept the Panthers from getting out. That pass nearly intercepted, but it does work its way back to Hughes. And now he's taking a step here. Fires one across to an open Timberlake, and Timberlake will move through neutral ice. Flip that one in, and the Panthers will chase. It actually comes on net and will be gloved by Blaine Camino. We'll get a face-off in the Regent zone with 4:53 to go.
Right now, I think the Panthers are looking to change up their game a little bit. You look at how they've been trying to take some more time, more dump and chase, trying to get physical and win those 50-50 battles along the boards. And I think that's the way they're going to have to keep playing in order to get back into this game against West.
Colt Myers in the dot, does win that one back. Shilton finds a wide open team, and his shot gets knocked up and into the safety net, and he wanted it back. He was all alone there at the hash marks.
He hesitated about a second and a half, 2 seconds, and he's beating himself up because that's one he wanted to let go in one quick motion on the one-timer. But either way, it was a good indication of, again, how creative Oregon can be.
Great pass from Gage Shilton. Nice pick off there by Timberlake. Arose trying to hold it. It works its way towards the slot, but it's skated out by Pulkrabek. Pulkrabek across to Gian. Gian dangling with it. It's stripped from him, but picked up by Huey. Huey now moving it back to Gian. Big battle behind the net. Skated away by Colt Myers of the Oregon. Now to Tyler Damon. Damon up the near side. No, held in by Pulkrabek and sent back down. 4:25 to go in the first period. Still 3-1 in favor of the Regents. Panthers trying to clear it out of their own zone, and it will be taken now by Gage Shilton. Shilton's got some open ice here as he enters left wing side and chips that one forward with 4:14 to play. Following it up as he's hoping Roscos will cover his defensive position. The Regents skating this one back out, but they have to reset as a long pass goes errant in their zone. Devin Huey moves this one forward, finds Marcus Mack. Mack trying to go all the way to Drake Baldwin, gets that home run pass. Baldwin to the far circle, wraps it around to Mack. Mack can't grab it. He and Damon crash into the boards here near side, and it's skated away by Sam Loving. Loving hassled in the boards. Big collisions back there, but Hughes able to come up with it with 3:40 to play. Hughes up left of the near wall. It's broken up, sent back down. Hayden Bell stepping up to get after it. Bell plays it with the skate, gets it forward to Zach Roscos. Roscos wraps one around and finds Damon center ice. No, it's immediately sent back in by Elliott Held. 3:32 to go in this first period. Collision with Hayden Bell right in front there. He tries to kick it forward with the skate, is able to get it to Roscos. Roscos finds Rohr and now finds Hughes 3-on-2. Here comes Hughes left wing side. Flips one forward to Rohr for the deflection. It's too high, he can't do it. Now back to Rohr though on a pass from Roscos. Rohr wrapping, finds Roscos, shot and a score! Zach Roscos from the bottom of the circle, a low angle blast along the ice and makes it a 1-goal game.
That's the kind of play we're used to seeing from Oregon, where they're able to get it in. They didn't get the initial shot they wanted, but they were able to adjust. And again, it's that creativity that they have for broken plays to find the open sticks. And there you go. Oregon's right back in this game.
3-2 with 3:13 to play in this first period. And yeah, after they went down 3-0, it felt like some of the air had gone out of their balloon. They are fully inflated now and ready to go. Andy Ziamek will take on Nico Ronabot in the faceoff dot. Puck a bit confused. It comes towards Strassman. He works on it at center ice, still along the near wall, and now Held flips it up, but hits one of the rafters, flipped it well high. We'll get an out-of-play faceoff.
You just got to wonder, as the energy level of this game continues and the hitting, which has increased. We've seen a couple high elbows starting to come up. At what point do some of these actions come back to bite you?
Ziamek again in the face-off dot. It's won by West, and they send it right into the Panther zone where Gage Shilton will have it defensively. Shilton's cross-ice pass for Ziamek, no good as he fell down right at the center line. And West trying to accelerate it back in. Great one-touch there, moves it over to Shilton, and he finds Strassman in the center. Immediately, West attacks. It's still stuck right in front of the penalty bench. Strassman going after it at the Regent blue line, but they skate it forward, and it's Captain Kieran Garvey skating this one. Garvey down to the near wall, trying to send it into center ice, wraps up his man. It's Gage Shilton wanting a holding call there, trying to signal for it. Another big hit there and a dangerous elbow, as you mentioned. This game getting very physical, but here comes Strassman, possibly 3-on-2. Strassman enters the zone. No, he can't stick with it, and that's going to be a delayed offsides against Oregon. We'll flip it back into the zone. 2:22 to play in the first period. 3-2 the lead for the Madison West Regents. Hayden Bell controls, moves to Ziamek. Ziamek dumps that one in, and he'll go for a change as the rest of the Panthers team had already exchanged players. 2:11 as the puck in the corner. Panthers trying to dig it out. They do find it. Dragging it forward is Tyler Damon. Damon sends out to the point for Timberlake. Timberlake rifles a wrister in. Second chance for Myers, no good. And it's skated away by Connor Huey. Back to Elliott Held now near side. Held still trying to grab this one. Big collision against the wall, but Arose has it. We have a hand up here. And we're going to get another hooking call, and I believe this will go against Laszlo Arose. So with 1:53 to play, Laszlo Arose is going to hit the penalty bench. 2 minutes for hooking. Has a 3-2 lead, precariously held by the Regents here in the first period.
And again, you can see it building where I think we're going to start to see more and more arms go up. And this is where each team needs to take a breath. And I think it's a good thing we're getting to the first intermission, because the last thing you want is to start generating too many power plays for the other team.
Drake Baldwin in the faceoff dot against Tristan Hughes. Baldwin trying to get that one. Hughes sends it back, but the Regents are able to take it, and they'll look to set up on offense. Hughes moves this one around his man, though, gets past Baldwin, but the last line of defense for West able to send it out. Hayden Bell's going to pick this one up, look to clear for the Panthers. He does send it out towards the Regent blue line. They control. Minute 44 on the power play, minute 35 in the period. Nice dangle around by Furman. Furman swings over the top. Can he get to the opposite side? He tries to, no good, but we have a delayed penalty coming against Oregon. Baldwin holds, sends it to center right. Nice try by Zach Roscoe to turn it around, and as we get control, we're going to get another penalty against Oregon here. Again, a hooking call, and it will be 5-on-3 for the Regents as Hayden Bell heads to the penalty bench.
And again, that's one of those where it was speed that created the penalty, and it was just some good moves. And again, Ayers was there looking in good position, but they're going to get that penalty, and it's going to make it 5-on-3. And this is not the line you want to go 5-on-3 against.
No, we have a minute 21 to play in this period, a minute 28 of 5-on-3, and 2 minutes of 5-on-4. Or rather 32 seconds after that minute 28. Off the faceoff, it is controlled by West. Good hassle there, good effort. Tyson Rohrer trying everything he can with Drake Baldwin, but Baldwin now skating this one away. Sends into center for Polkerbeck. His shot goes well wide and ends up on the far wall. Minute 7 to play here, still 5-on-3 for the Regents. They work their way in, trying to drop it off, and they'll leave it back for Baldwin. Set up and go to the center point for Garvey. Across now to Furman. Drops in for Polkerbeck, back to Furman. Furman looking to skate it down. Polkerbeck near side, back to Furman at the point. Furman across, finds Baldwin, high slot, shot, blocker save, second chance, again a blocker save, and high and into the net. Tried to use the glass, it goes a little high and out of play. We'll get another face-off, 40 seconds to go in the period.
And you saw Baldwin just creeping in, slow and slow. Gets that first shot, big rebound, second one. Ayers is in great position to make that save. But they've really got to make sure they keep it spread out, and that's what you want to do on that 5-on-3 is slowly collapse, clog up the middle.
Mitchik, Roscos, and Carson Timberlake for the Panthers. Face off won by the Regents. They control far point. Move it up near side for Furman. Furman cross ice and finds Lanneman. Lanneman shot broken up, and Zach Roscos clears it out. Even 30 seconds to play in the period. 3-2 the lead for the Madison West Regents. Taking it behind his own net is Kieran Garvey, looking to get this one forward with 22 seconds left to go. Garvey cross ice finds Furman. Furman near side, looking to drop that one off. Now in front, it's broken up. A lot of confusion in front, but Ayers is able to cover it. Boy, Riley Lanneman right there in the crease trying to get a stick on it. Couldn't do it, and there's 12 seconds to go.
Furman is so deceptive when he comes in. I mean, he dips that shoulder and draws people around, but Ayers gets so low to follow and track that puck. He saw it all the way and was just trying to get that big mid on top of it.
Again, it's Drake Baldwin, this time taking on Zach Roscos, near side of the Panther zone. Roscos able to win it over to Timberlake. Timberlake will looking to clear or just trap this one. 8 seconds to play. Timberlake still wanting to hold it. West trying to dig it out. 4 seconds to play. West now has it clear. 2 seconds to go. Wine's shot goes off the heel and nothing doing. And the Panthers are able, they will have 8 seconds of 5-on-3 and then 32 seconds of 5-on-4 when we come back, able to kill off most of the damage from back-to-back hooking calls.
Yeah, that's going to be a big kill for them if they're able to get through the end of these two penalties in the next period. That's going to be a huge momentum boost for Oregon, and they really had to turn it on through the second half of this period because they truly were dominated in just about every area. And again, when you've got a guy like Drake Baldwin who gets a natural hat trick in the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes of the game, this was a good indication of how Oregon is going to deal with adversity.
Absolutely, and they managed to come back, like you said, from a 3-0 deficit thanks to some very, very creative goals using the thing that has given them the most success, at least in the couple of years that we've been watching them, which has been passing.
Yep.
Those quick, clean passes in the offensive zone have been the thing that has been the most successful. All right, folks, the Mighty Mites are hitting the ice here. Let's take a look and watch them. Dan and I are going to take a break. We'll be back with you in the second period. The Panthers are down 3-2 in so far a great game of hockey. Do not go anywhere. You're listening to OCAmedia's presentation of Oregon Panthers boys hockey. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Seeloff and Dan Graychuk here with you at the Madison Ice Arena. It is 3-2 in favor of the home team, Madison Regents, after one period. And Tan, it was a heck of a period. 3 penalties against West, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against Oregon. West converted on 2 of those, and all 3 of their goals have come off of the stick of Drake Baldwin. Yeah,
Drake Baldwin is impressive to watch. We knew coming into this game, being the leading scorer in the conference, maybe even the state.
I didn't check, but with 41 points, he's got to be up there.
You know, and West
44
now.
Yeah,
and West has a long history of having scorers like that. He really has come out to show why he's so good there. And you can also see how that team, even though he is their leading scorer, they do a pretty good job controlling play when he's not out there, but he's definitely an advantage. The biggest thing we need to see from Oregon in this period is their ability to adjust to the style of game as it goes and not to get into penalty trouble, which is always a concern.
Absolutely. Both teams are getting back to the ice, so we'll take you back to see that action with 1:26 to go in the intermission period. And like you said, penalties are going to be the issue, and they're going to be the issue for both teams. As this period went on, as the first period went on, it started to get very physical and not always in a good way. Lots of elbows were getting awfully high. There were a lot of, sort of words exchanged clearly. And indeed, as we come on here, we've got sort of some, jawing as people are exiting the
well, no, I'm talking about the goaltender change.
Yeah, and we do have a new goaltender in net. I think just to probably keep him warm, that would be number 35, Ian Hedekin, who's just, I think, going to take a few warm-up shots. Although, as I look, I don't see Adam Wayne Camino, number 1. Their other goaltender, they carry 3 on the team. Number 30, Caleb Loving, is on the bench. But number 1, Adam Wayne Camino, I do not see.
I'm wondering if they pulled him after the collision.
And that's what I was going to reference, especially. Tyler Damon went in hard on net and really just kind of leveled Wayne Camino. After that point, he got dove on top of by Devin Huey. They gave him matching minors, which you and I both thought for both infractions was probably too light.
It was, and because Camino's mask went flying off, I wonder if there's a level of concussion protocol. And
Indeed.
I think right now there should even be some question that they should not be warming him up. Warm-ups are at the beginning of the game. They're generally not supposed to warm up goaltenders like this.
Well, and as we look across to the Oregon bench, we do see both referees talking with Coach Tony Liebert. I wonder if he's making that argument and if they're maybe explaining to him whatever an exception to the rule might be, as you noted, perhaps in case of a concussion protocol or some other issue.
Boy, I gotta say, this is something very unusual. That's why goaltenders on the bench always have all their gear on. They're always ready to go. So in the case that they do have to come in, they come right in. Generally, you don't see them get a warm-up spot. But either way, with Camino out, that's going to make a big difference here, I think, in the way West is going to start playing this game. And they've got about 8 seconds of a 5-on-3 here to go.
Yep, 8 seconds of a 5-on-3, followed by 32 seconds of a 5-on-4 as we get underway here in the second period. West does win the faceoff, and Dean Furman takes it, finds Drake Baldwin in center ice, and he's going to enter the zone. We are now 5-on-4 as Laszlo Rose reports back to the ice. A nice deflection attempt in front, but a great save from Jacob Ayers. It was Baldwin once again that had that deflection, but Ayers able to save it.
Yeah, and Ayers had to be quick on that because he was shifting from the near side to the far side, which opened up that 5-hole, and he had to stop quick on that edge and bury it and cover it.
16:50 in the period, 29 seconds on the power play. Baldwin wins it to himself, but now finds Furman, top of the circle, shot pad save and a great cover. Baldwin went for a whack, but Ayers able to get on top of that one, and we'll have 23 seconds of the power play left.
It seems like West is really keying in on low shots on Ayers. So they're seeing something down at ice level that makes them think they can beat him 5-hole.
Tyson Rohrer is going to take on Drake Baldwin, far side of the Panther zone. Puck drops. Baldwin still trying to hold it. Instead, it comes loose. Roscos can't quite get there, but he's going to get this one free and clear it well out. Zach Roscos, the assistant captain of these Panthers, does a great job to clear it. 16:32 in the period, 10 seconds left on the power play as Drake Baldwin comes up the near side, kicks it across, and finds Garvey. Garvey enters far side, stops up there in the corner, looking to dish. You hear Ian Hedekin slamming his stick on the ice, and now both teams are full strength as Hayden Bell comes back to the ice. Center point for Garvey. Lifts one in, it deflects off his own man and comes to the near wall. 16-12 as both teams are full strength here. West still controls. Baldwin, a low angle shot, ends up in the slot, skated away by the Panthers. Great pass finds Rohr. Across to Hayden Bell now. Bell drops off for Rohr, just over the top. It coming the other way is Drake Baldwin. Baldwin's got a 1-on-2 here, and he's going to elect to go for a change and just dump it with 15:55 to play. Regents still on top 3-2. Tristan Hughes skating through center ice. Hangs onto that one, knocks another stick loose, and he cuts to the far side. Hughes caroling around as he so often does, comes to the near side of the cage. Loses track of the puck though, has it stripped from him. No, but he's able to hold it with great play with the hand on the near side and gets it down to Tyson Rohr. Rohr on the near wall with 15:35 to go, drops to Hughes. Hughes actually sends that one all the way back into the Panthers zone accidentally, and they'll have to retreat there.
Yeah, and again, Hughes was looking to get that shot quick, but it was in his skates. He had to move that puck along.
West does a nice job to intercept a rim pass on the near side, and now they control, try to flip one into the low slot. It keeps working its way toward the goal. Pad save from Ayers, knocked away and played by the hand of Tyler Damon, and gets it going forward. Here comes Laszlo Rose entering the zone. His cross-ice pass broken up, but he sticks with the puck. 15:05 to go, still 3-2 Regents, and Rose will send it all the way down into the zone. Stepping up is Carson Timberlake here on the far corner. He finds Hughes behind the net. Hughes looks to move around his man. He does. Send through center. It's broken up by 4 different Regents standing there as Hughes looks to dig it off the wall. Regents turning it around. Carrying it is Devin Huey. Huey challenged by Hughes, but he gets it to Elliott Held. Up off the wall for Gian. Controls for the Regents there. Sends too hard, and that one should come down for icing. With 14:37 to go, we'll head back to the Regent zone.
Yeah, and Tristan Hughes looks gassed right now. That was about a 2-minute, 23-second shift. That's a long time. So again, they're double shifting him because he seems to have a lot of the speed coming through the neutral zone. But where he is best, honestly, is in front of the net. And if they can get some time with him in front of Hedekin, that I think is going to pay dividends as the game goes on.
A little bit of confusion on the West line, but it looks like we've got 5 skaters reporting to the ice now. 14:37 to play as West is on top 3-2 in the second period here. Face-off will be taken by Colton Ayers of Oregon. He gets checked down from behind. Puck stays on the dot, but they're able to dig it out. It's Marcus Mack for West. On the near side, instead he sends down, picked off by a Rose. A Rose tried to feed to center, broken up, still badly, and he takes this one off the wall. Still trying to send it to center. Instead finds Damon behind the net. Now point Hayden Bell. Across to Timberlake. Timberlake now finds into Laszlo. Laszlo, a shot and no, it hit the outside of the netting. Oh man, the way it looked from up here, it looked good, but hits the outside of the netting, just wide on the low angle shot. Great play from the Panthers. A Rose in center ice curls it back into the Regent zone with 14:05 to play in the second. Regents have it near side, move it up to Charlie Cutting. Wow, big time cross ice pass and gets it all the way to Duchemin. Duchemin top of the far circle, his shot broken up by Timberlake. He's able to stick with it though as his team changes. Timberlake knocks it off his tape for Damon. West still controls. Timberlake delivers a big hit there, but it's curled around and taken by Duchemin again. His shot broken up, still coming towards the near wall. Sam Loving fighting for it along with Colton Ayers. 13:39 to play in the second. Puck trapped on the wall. Loving now has it, skates it around. He falls down but gets it to the point. Nice little move by Mack, and Mack sends it all the way in. We've got a hand up here, delayed penalty coming, and we'll see what the signal is from the official. Tripping is the call, and heading to the box once more is Laszlo Rose. 2 minutes for tripping with 13:28 to play in the second.
And that was a penalty that was again generated from the good puck movement and working a cycle, and that really didn't give Oregon much of a chance there. And yeah, we're going to see that kind of a trip coming there. Now Oregon has to kill another penalty. They did a great job of killing the 5-on-3. That is definitely a momentum boost, but now they got to do it again here.
Huge power play opportunity for the West Regions. 13:28 to play in the second period. Panthers win the draw, and Ryan Mitchell gets a nice clear, hits a stanchion and angles funny, and goes all the way into the Oregon zone. Initial play to Oregon. Minute 50 to go on the power play as the Regions pick it up behind their net. Good lead pass, and they head into neutral ice. They find Drake Baldwin. He enters left wing side. Baldwin to the outer hashes, all the way across. One-time shot is broken up by Gage Shilgen and sent into the safety net. The captain, Sam Loving, rifled one in there, but number 12, Gage Shilgen, ever steady on defense, breaks it up.
Yeah, and it was a weird setup there on the penalty kill. You had 2 Oregon Panthers really pressuring hard deep, which gave the advantage numbers going the other way, but good break up there at the end.
Baldwin will take on Tyson Rohr in the face-off dot, far side of the Panther zone. Minute 39 to go on the power play, 13:08 to play in the second period. Little substitution question once again, but now we're ready to play. Puck is dropped. The Panthers trying to dig it out. Swinging over the top is Timberlake as he's challenged hard. Now sent up to the point and taken by Furman. Furman fakes the shot and moves into Baldwin. Baldwin drags around one man but is forced to the far corner. Still controlling there for West. Back to Furman at the far point. Finds Baldwin again. Setting up their offense here. Now he drops off. Gives that one to Loving. Baldwin looking to wrap around here. Tries to send back to Loving. He feeds into the center, and there's Zach Roscos. His backhand held by Furman. Furman steps up against Rohrer. Rohrer putting some big pressure on. Trying to take it away is Timberlake. Timberlake can't get it through the skates of Rohrer, though, and it remains trapped on that wall. Checked down, but held by Baldwin. Top of the circle. Shot too high. Hits the glass. Now controlled by Garvey. Garvey taps that one back down for Loving. Can't clear it through center. Hayden Bell breaks up. Now Baldwin behind the net for West. 51 seconds on the power play. 12-18 in the period. Roscos looking to take it away. Can't send it forward enough. Now he does get it into center ice and will force West to check it up. Rohrer puts a little pressure on, but instead it's Dean Furman that's got it. Furman works around one man, getting hassled from both directions. Sent in. Hayden Bell's got it. Oh boy, Bell tries to clear it a bit high. Sends it in and hits the glass separator between the two benches there, out of play, and we'll get a face-off with 33 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, he was trying to get it low off the boards, but it just went high, and because of that, it's going to come all the way back down into the Oregon zone with 33 seconds left on this power play. Oregon has done a great job of keeping everything to the outside.
12:02 to go in the game. As you said, 33 seconds on the power play. 12:02 in the second period, excuse me. Regents still up 3-2. We're going to send Hughes out of the circle, and we'll bring in Tyler Damon. He'll challenge Connor Huey. Huey able to win that for the Regents, and they send to the point. Elliott held. Held from the center point. A quick save from Jacob Ayers. And with 11:56 to go, another face-off here.
Yeah, they keep going low on Ayers, and again, I'm not seeing what they're seeing from down there, but it looks like he's given up more real estate above his glove than below it.
Huey versus Hughes. Hughes able to win it. Ryan Mitchell with another great clear. In fact, sends it on net. Easy save for Ian Hedekin. But 11:50 to go in the game. 20 seconds even on the power play. Skating this one out is Devin Huey. Huey sends one up off the boards, and he's able to get that one to Riley Lanham. Lanham stops up top of the near circle. Tries to feed down. Another pick off from Mitchell, and Mitchell sends it clear. Great work by Ryan Mitchell defensively. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Slamming the sticks, in fact, slamming their hands are the West student section, and both teams are full strength, and Tyler Damon picks one off in the slot. Damon sends out towards the point. Arose delivers a hit, loses track of the puck behind him, trying to turn around down on center ice. Instead, Jiang able to take it. Jiang from the high slot, a great save as he goes high blocker, and now it's picked up and moved across by Arose. Arose a one-touch, instead broken up by Held. Damon can't get it, and Elliott Held sends her back down. Arose will pick it up near corner of the Panthers zone with 11:03 to play in the second. Gets it forward to Damon. Damon getting a little pressure. Nice tap to Gage Shilgen, and here come the Panthers the other way. Cross ice pass finds Hughes. Hughes stops up and picks it up on the far side. Going for a change of the Panthers defenseman as Hughes curls around. Looking to get this one to Damon up at the point. Now he'll take up, circle around once more, and head to the center point, and he's broken up, and here comes an odd-man rush. Drake Baldwin. It's Hayden Bell in a foot race with him. Baldwin near side shot. No good. Hand up, delayed penalty coming. And they are going to get Hayden Bell. He doesn't want it, but they're going to call him for the hold. 2 minutes against Hayden Bell with 10:35 to play in the second.
And Bell better be real careful, because as he was skating by the other student section, he showed a certain gesture that is probably unappreciated. And I think they're gonna talk to the refs are probably talking about that, as well as whether or not that should be a penalty shot or not.
Yeah,
it should not be a penalty shot. It was not clear.
I agree, because he's in a step-for-step race with him. I wouldn't call that a legitimate scoring opportunity that was robbed. Nevertheless, I think you're right. They're probably talking about a possible misconduct penalty against Bell in addition to the 2 minutes for holding. All three officials gathered at the far point of the Oregon zone to have a discussion. Coach Steve Liebert of Madison West pulls his team in to take advantage of the timeout here to discuss strategy. 10:35 to go in this period. 3-2 still the score, so a lot less scoring compared to what we saw in the first. But we're seeing both teams get their chances. Baldwin did a great job there, stepped in front of a pass, and he was gone. Give credit to Hayden Bell. Though he gets called for the penalty, boy, he did everything he could to stay with him. And now we have Carson Timberlake coming over to talk with the official. I don't know if she's telling him that she's not happy with what she's seeing and wants him as the captain to rein his team in. Also skating over is number 16, Sam Loving, captain of these West Regents. I think, and we see the other official over speaking with Coach Tony Liebert of the Panthers. I think these officials want to get this game back in hand.
Yeah, and I agree, and that's why you want to pull the captains over. And we know Timberlake. He's a physical player. He's a smart player, but he also wants to keep a lid on the game to make sure it doesn't get out of hand, just like the refs want to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. The real question is are we going to see some type of unsportsmanlike or misconduct penalty here? But the bigger thing is
Oregon really needs to make sure they stay out of the box.
Yep, you can see Coach Tony Liebert over there gesticulating with the official. I think he's trying to argue that there was contact on both ways on this call. Whatever the discussion, the referee's certainly not going to reverse themselves after having made the call. But a lot of discussion here, and you've got to figure this is about what we talked about at the start of the period. Elbows getting up, hits being delivered, maybe a little late, a little beyond when you want to. So we see 7 minutes on the penalty clock. That can't be right.
No, that is actually what the ref indicated. I'm confused on what that is exactly.
I'm not sure how you would get 7 minutes of penalty time.
I'm not.
Because if you had a major and a minor, you would serve them.
Yeah,
I guess you could conceivably serve them consecutively.
We'll have to wait and see.
We've got the ref down here. See if we can't hear what the discussion is with Hayden Bell. And he may actually be being sent off here. Bell leaving the penalty bench and going to the dressing room. So they're going to give him. So 2 minutes for hooking, 5 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, and I believe a game disqualification for an obscene gesture. And so with that in mind, that is huge, because not only does Hayden Bell leave this game and leave a major penalty to be served by his team, but he's automatically suspended for the next game, which is coming up against Monona Grove on Tuesday. If that was indeed a game disqualification, I believe that's what I heard.
And I believe it was as well. And this is a weird way to set that penalty up. A 5, then a 2, or a 2, then a 5. I don't really understand how that totally works here. But either way, it's really putting Oregon down. And again, the energy level here is starting to get a little bit out of control.
Yep. Tyler Damon, as he entered the penalty bench there, you heard him kind of slam his stick down. We do have a timeout signaled now, so the Panthers are going to take a timeout, and Coach Liebert try and salvage what he can. So we're having a lot of discussion here between the off-ice officials and the on-ice officials. Timeout officially has been taken by the Oregon Panthers, but I do not see Coach. Oh, there's Coach Liebert on the bench. I thought maybe he had gone to the dressing room with Hayden Bell. So timeout Panthers, and just to recap for you folks, Hayden Bell called for holding. He then, as you said, flipped the bird to the student section of West. So then they gave him a major for unsportsmanlike along with a game disqualification. So Hayden Bell is done for tonight and will be banned from the Monona Grove game on Tuesday.
And there's something else going on here, and I'm not.
Yep. I'm not sure if we're going to start issuing bench minors for the student section or what. As Tyler Damon, who was set to serve Hayden Bell's penalty, came over to the penalty box. He slammed his stick into the glass. So there may be some discussion there about another misconduct penalty. So the referee's discussing, and he's saying if they're not watching the game, throw them out, in reference to the student sections. He said, I'd be happy to have the whole student section thrown out. So he's talking with not the off-ice officials now, but with the rink management staff who are responsible for managing the crowds here at Madison Ice Arena.
And, I got to be honest, and again, I'm known to have been saying, I've said things that have gotten me some, but the staff that's working the penalty box, they're
instigating a lot with the student section over on the Oregon side.
I do have to say, it's a difficult job because we're talking about high school students who are fired up over a sporting event, not the most rational creatures on God's green earth. That said, there is a way to deal with people who are energized, and I have to agree with you that the off-ice officials have tended to make things worse in the way they're interacting with the students.
They really have. There's two individuals that I don't really think should be in here right now, but either way, they're going to get control of this game one way or the other, and it's important that the refs show that they're the ones in charge. And yeah, we want people out here, we want fans to be here, but they better be in the right frame of mind in order for that to happen.
Yep, so with that in mind, after all of that, Hayden Bell assessed 7 minutes of penalties plus a game misconduct. So Tyler Damon will serve.
Wait.
Some confusion here. So Tyler Damon is going to serve that penalty. Off the draw, it is won by West, and they will have a power play for 7 minutes here. Try to send one through center. Zach Roscoe breaks it up with 10:26 to play in the second period. Big hit by Tristan Hughes up against the wall, but the West controls. That shot goes wide and comes to the point, held by Garvey. Garvey sends down. Mitchell looking to take this one away, challenged by two different West players, and it's skated away by Loving. Moves up to Garvey. Garvey winds again. Wide. That deflection attempt is no good. Wrapped into center by Baldwin, and now we've got a hand up, and we're going to send Tristan Hughes to the box. Referee doesn't want to hear it as Hughes gives him some lip. Interference the call. So 2 minutes for interference against Tristan Hughes with 10:06 to play, and now it will be, and he slams his stick.
And this is the kind of concern that you worry about when everybody's getting amped up, and Hughes was putting some big hits there. They were clean hits, they were legitimate hits. But again, you got to be careful as the game is starting to escalate in emotion and in physicality.
Referees once again having a discussion with the rink management officials. I think this referee in particular here, the male referee, is really bothered by whatever he's seeing from West. We're a little further away, so I'm not able to tell what, if anything, they're doing, but he's clearly not happy with what he's seeing, and we did see a Madison police officer arrive not long ago. He's over near the West student section discussing something with another member of rink management. So the MIA folks getting involved. Unfortunately, the police now getting involved, and we sure hope they're able to keep a lid on everything. But it will be 5-on-3 now for 2 minutes here. The draw is won by West, and they set up, cut to the near side, where it's controlled by Devin Huey. Huey again, top of the circle, shot broken up. Nice breakup by Timberlake, but it's controlled by Held. Back to Baldwin. Huey once again, top of the circle. West has all the time they want here, working this one down, trying to wrap it around. Can't do it as Loving, and it's covered by Ayers. Ayers, a nice glove to stop that one up. 9:45 to go, minute 38 left on the 5-on-3.
And here's where you have a lot of confidence in your goaltender, because Ayers is one of those goaltenders who's calm. He stays very much in a bubble regardless of what's going on around him. He stays nice and calm, doesn't get over emotional, and that's what you want to see in a goaltender in a situation like this where you've got another minute 38 of a 5-on-3.
Zach Roscoe in the faceoff dot. He loses control. Loving has that one. It comes right towards Ayers, and he's going to free it. Boy, Carson Timberlake just couldn't, got kind of handcuffed almost. Didn't want to backhand it because he knew he was being pursued, but he had nowhere else to go. Sort of rides it right onto his goalie.
Yep, and interesting down in the penalty box right now, you got Hughes trying to settle down Damon, just keeping him mellow, so again, emotion isn't too crazy.
What a rifle right there from Baldwin, his 4th goal of the game. 9:34 to go. It's his 3rd power play of the game. The penalty will expire not against Hughes, because Hughes first, it's going to be the 2 minutes that will expire that was assessed to Bell, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope, assessed to Hughes.
Okay, I would think it should be the 2 minutes against Bell, because we still have some of that to go. This is a confusing penalty situation. For those of you who are hockey rules nerds, you would need to get out your rule book on this one. At any rate, Baldwin, another power play goal, gives his team a 4-2 lead.
Exactly. Sorry I was talking so much about the love fest going on in the penalty box.
Quite all right. But it's Drake Baldwin with the 4th goal of the game for the Regents. He's had them all, his 3rd power play goal. And so now we should have 5 minutes left on the Bell penalty.
5:59 left. Right.
Because the 2 minutes should expire. And so, yeah, so we're going to reset the penalty clock. So it should be 5 minutes on the Bell penalty that will not expire on a goal because that was a major penalty. Should have a minute 27 on the Hughes penalty. Or no, that expired.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. So I'm sorry, folks. This is a confusing situation. We will still have 5:59. You're right, because it was the Hughes penalty that they had expired.
Right.
So 5:59 on the Bell penalty that is being served by Tyler Damon. If Madison West gets a goal in the next 59 seconds, we'll knock it down to 5 minutes. Off the draw, West does control with 9:31 to play, and they skate it right in. Feed across to Baldwin. Great job by Timberlake to get in front, but Furman sends it down. Swing across and Ayers with a killer save, and here comes Roscos and Hughes. Zach Roscos across to Hughes in center ice. Hughes trying to get through all 5 different West players. They're able to take it away and send near side. 9:13 to play. 5:38 still left on that penalty against Hayden Bell that's being served by Damon. Here comes Baldwin. He's got a possible 3-on-2. Baldwin left wing side. Feeds into center. Trying to drag it along is Gian. He's got nowhere to go with it and sends to the center point. Drops that one off for Garvey. Got 2 players in the same position. They're looking to get set up. Garvey back to Marcus Mack. And Mack moves it across. Dean Furman there, sends all the way in. It's knocked into the glass by Mitchick. Mitchick now trying to take it from Garvey. Sends out, but it'll be held by Mack. Across now to Furman. Furman at the point. Back to Mack. Nice break up there by Zach Roscos. He'll put a light pursuit on, but he wants to stay home here on the defense as Baldwin turns around. Baldwin, kicks off the back of his own teammate, but here comes Mack. Mack 1-on-2 as he goes to the far dot. Tries to curl it back into center where it's taken by Tristan Hughes with 8:20 to play. 4:46 left on the power play. Hughes dumps that one in, and he'll let the Panthers get a line change. Hughes putting some forecheck pressure on. Boy, he takes the worst part of that hit from Furman. And the West region still control here at center ice. Trying to get this one around. They find Garvey. Garvey up towards the blue line. Does manage to find Gian. Gian now digs this one forward. We've got a delayed penalty coming against Oregon with 8 minutes even to play as West controls. Timberlake delivers a shot and gets his stick on. We'll get the signal from the official. It's a cross-checking penalty. And again, for 2 minutes, it'll be 5-on-3 once more for Oregon.
And that was a shot from behind. I mean, it's one of those things that, again, it was right in front of the ref, and that's going to happen. He's trying to make his case that it's just not going to matter at this point. The refs are going to make sure this game does not get any more out of hand than it has.
Tyson Rohrer tagged with 2 minutes for cross-checking, so with 7:56 to play, it's another 2 minutes of 5-on-3 hockey for the Madison West Regions. Colton Ayers taking on Connor Huey in the dot. It's won by West, and they get it back to Devin Huey. Center point moves that one down to Gian. Gian from the dot, his shot deflected, an attempt there by Riley Lanham, and they get a quick whistle, and we'll reset for another faceoff.
The penalty kill for Oregon has been remarkable. I mean, if you look at the amount of time they've had to kill 5-on-3, they have done a really good job at it. They've just given up that one.
They absolutely have. Faceoff again, this time won by West. Jiang sends across to Held. Now moving it back to Huey. Held once again, far point, settles up, and finds Devin Huey opposite side. Huey moves down, trying to find Jiang. It ends up behind the net. Jiang able to skate it away there in the far corner. 7:29 to go, minute 32 left on the 5-on-3. Held to Jiang, outer hashes. Tries to get it into center, kicked away by Timberlake, but center point held by the Regents, and they move it back to Devin Huey. Huey top of the near circle, sends a light one in, and it's a great save from Ayers. A second great save on the attempt by Connor Huey, but Connor Huey does have it. Finds Elliott Held, far point. Devin Huey now, outer hashes near side. 7:06 to go, minute 9 left on the 5-on-3. Jiang low angle, shot broken up by Timberlake. Timberlake rims hard and clears it out. Carson Timberlake, the captain, sending it clear. 6:56 to go in the second period. 58 seconds left on the 5-on-3. The West Regions lead 4-2 over the visiting Oregon Panthers. Try to go for a nice lead pass. It goes a bit long. Striding in to get it, though, is Drake Baldwin. He can't get there in time, and icing will go against West. We'll head to their zone for the faceoff.
Yeah, and again, the Oregon has looked good on their penalty kill. They're keeping everything to the outside. The stuff that's coming into Ayers is staying pretty mellow. They just need to make sure that they are able to generate some kind of offense as soon as they get back to full strength.
Tristan Hughes will take the face-off, taking on Drake Baldwin, far side of the Regents zone. 6:44 to play. Regents try to win this one. Instead, Hughes has it, tries to get a shot in, can't do it. He's going to try and get back on D, but this one cleared out and sent to the blue line of the Panthers. Panthers clear it back into the Regents zone. 6:32 to play in the second, 35 seconds on the 5-on-3. Regents move across, find Baldwin. He enters right in the center, now cuts to the near side. Baldwin looks to drag past Mitchell, can't do it. Mitchell mixing it up on the near side, digging on that wall. Baldwin takes it around. Gage Shiljan playing the defense. He kicks it forward towards Garvey. Now up to the point for Furman. Furman moves across, finds Garvey. Garvey a shot in the glove. And boy, Ayers is so good with that glove for a rolling puck on the ice that can be very, very difficult to nab.
And Ayers seems really focused, and you watch him. He's skating from side to side after each whistle. He's trying to stay in his little bubble because he's seeing a lot of action. He's having to go up and down. You're worried about fatigue, but he's looking so solid there.
Draw is won by the Regents. They have 12 seconds left of the 5-on-3 with 6:07 to play in the period. At the point, Dean Furman looks to drop off for Baldwin, instead sends it out. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Tyson Rohr's penalty expires, and it's 5-on-4 as we end up back behind the Panther net. Timberlake has it there, looks to send far side, turns around and has it stripped. It's Baldwin for the Regents. Baldwin on the near wall, setting up on the offense, feeds it to Garvey. Baldwin pass back to him, goes too long. Loving will take it though, drops it off, back for Baldwin again. Send Loving behind the net, he's got that one up to the point. Furman. 5:36 to go, 2 minutes left on the power play. Shot in, deflects off a skate, still stuck in low. Ayers is stuck out of position, but they managed to dig the puck off and gets trapped on the back wall. Boy, Ayers kind of trapped in that split position, couldn't get back. Defense helps him out.
Yeah, he thought it was going to go in the smart play to kind of corral it and try and move it back behind the skate of Ayers. But Ayers just kept pushing back to try and lock that skate on that post. And again, another 5-on-3 killed by Oregon, and that is impressive.
Great work by the Oregon PK unit. Referee skating over to speak with the off-ice official once more. They just want to know exactly when they should release Damon from the penalty box. So with 1:53 left on the power play, 5:28 left in the period, it'll be Drake Baldwin against Tristan Hughes in the dot. Hughes wins it back. Trying to clear it out is Timberlake. He gets a shot and he's not able to get the swing on. And Regents control. Sam Loving sends it up to the point for Elliott Held. Tap it down. What a breakup by Tyson Rohr. Skating ahead is Hughes. Hughes one-on-one here, cutting towards the goal with one hand. Shot and a save. A save from Hedekin, but a great breakaway chance by Tristan Hughes. 5:05 to play in this period. 1:30 left on the West power play. Skating it in is Drake Baldwin. Baldwin to the top side, now goes low side. Great block by Carson Timberlake and doesn't let him get through. Timberlake delivering a shot there as Mitchell tries to dig it off the wall. Send across to Elliott Held. Held from the face-off dot. Pad save. Shot off the post. Second chance off the post. Another shot deflects off another player. Held another shot and a glove from Ayers. Boy, that one off the post. There was a lot of net to look at. Panthers get away with one. Still only 4-2.
It was, and Hughes showed that he still has some legs left, and I don't know how he does because he's getting double shifted in almost every period. But he tried that same kind of can opener move and just wasn't able to get it low, and it went kind of high. Either way, there is life in Oregon, and once they kill this 1:08, if they can, they should feel really good about coming out of that with just one goal.
West manages to win the faceoff, send it to Furman at the point. Now opposite point for Garvey. Garvey tries to send it across, and Gage Shiljan taps it into the safety net. We'll get now to play faceoff. 4:33 to go in the period. 58 seconds on the power play. Madison West up 4-2.
And again, they only had one goal scored on them in all these power play minutes. And again, they're tired, but they should be very proud of their penalty kill.
Trying to dig that one out is Lanneman. A quick shot comes in and goes wide of the cage, but it will be held by Garvey and moved down. Turning around is Roscoe. Roscoe finds Rohr. Rohr is behind everyone with one man. Tries to drop it to the opposite side. Nobody there to help him out. And the puck now going to be skated by West. Big hit there as his man goes down. Sent into center ice. Mitchick's got it. Feeds across. And we've got an offsides call against West. We'll bring it just outside of the Panther zone. Big hit right up there on the blue line. And with 4:12 to go, an advantageous faceoff for Oregon.
And I think that's the first whistle that's blown that wasn't a cover or a penalty.
Indeed. First sort of non-impactful whistle here. 4:12 to play, 37 seconds on the power play. Hughes against Baldwin in the faceoff dot. Hughes wins it back to Timberlake. Timberlake clears it out of the zone. Zach Roscoe stepping up. They challenge, and that one pops up high. Boy, and you and I were talking about that before the game. This is a tight arena, and there is, if you're a spectator here, if you ever come out to the Madison Ice Arena, it's a great place to watch hockey, but you need to be watching the hockey because these pucks can come up at any time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're in the back row, and we're only like 12 feet from ice.
Exactly. Timberlake gets that one off the one draw by the Panthers. They still control with 28 seconds to go and send it into the West region. 28 seconds on the power play, I should say, as the Regents take it in their own zone. 3:56 to go in the period. Go for the home run pass. It's broken up by Gage Shiljan at center ice, dragged in, and that's going to be a delayed offside. Shiljan will be able to clear this one to Roscoe's. Roscoe's coming up right wing side. Tries to get past his man. He does. Looks to drag through another man. Can't do it. And Furman able to send it forward. Coming up is Sam Loving. Loving moves across to Baldwin. Baldwin near side tries to chip it back to Loving. We've got a delayed penalty coming against Oregon. Damon's penalty expires with 3:31 to go, but as soon as Oregon touches it up, we'll have another 2 minutes coming. Let's get the signal. Elbowing the call, and I believe it was going to be Hughes behind the play. We'll see who they signal. I believe Tristan Hughes is going to be guilty of this one. Yep, Tristan Hughes, 2 minutes for elbowing. He delivered a shot against Dean Furman that was frankly just unnecessary. It was well behind the play. They get him 2 minutes for the elbowing.
And this is where, again, we've talked about it so much, penalties coming back to bite them, because they have just killed off a ridiculous amount of penalty time. And here they are back on the penalty kill for another 2 minutes.
Tristan Hughes will spend 2 minutes in the box. Face-off is won by West, and Jiang has it near side, being hassled by the Panthers. They try and clear it out, but it's held at the point and sent back down by Devin Huey. Mitchick's got it now behind the net. Great little saucer, and the bounce clears it out. Ryan Mitchick has been doing a great job with these clears. Damon putting some forecheck pressure on with 3:05 to go in the game. Minute 37 left on the power play. Good challenge there by Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer trying to get his stick back on that puck. Good challenge and killing off more time, and now Damon gets his stick on it, and we've got a delayed penalty coming against West. There's the whistle. We'll see the signal for West. Hooking is the call. And the Panthers have finally sort of dug themselves out of this man-down hole. Elliott held to the box for 2 minutes. And that is going to be, so we'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 26. And then we'll have 34 seconds of a Panther power play.
And that was just drawn by Tyler Damon's tenacity. Just not giving up, was able to draw that penalty. And that's going to even it up here for a little bit at least. And then we'll see a little bit of a power play from Oregon if it stays the same as now.
Oregon does win that draw. Damon near side sends across to Rohrer. Rohrer can't settle down the pass, and it's skated away by Joe Clark. Sends up the near wall. Damon stepping up. He takes that one and skates behind the West net. All the way to the far side for Tyler Damon. Now tries to drop it off. Instead, it's picked up by Clark, and West skates this one out. Nice cross-ice pass to Loving. Loving dumps that one in, and following it up is Drake Baldwin along with Carson Timberlake. Timberlake gets there first for Oregon, and he's got some room to skate. He's got Tyson Rohrer ahead along with Damon. Enters the zone with both of those players as he goes to the near side. Stops up, feed to center for Damon. Can't get a stick on, and here comes Baldwin the other way. Possible 2-on-2 with Baldwin moving up the right wing side. To the top of the circle, to the high slot, trying to turn around. Now to the face-off dot, broken up by Zach Roscoe's, and sent back towards the point for Marcus Mack. Mack stepping up to the dot, swings over the top. Damon delivers a huge hit, and here comes Roscoe's. Roscoe's across to Damon. Damon can't settle it, though, and it's cleared out by West. It'll come on net, so no icing. Minute 56 to go, and in fact, Ayers will cover it. So minute 55 to go, 29 seconds left in the 4-on-4, and then we will have 34 seconds of a power play for Oregon.
Right now, Oregon is gassed. Penalty killing is really draining, and since they killed 7 minutes long of penalty stretch, including some 5-on-3, they're getting real tired, and you saw that in the speed and transition that just isn't there.
No, they need to get to this intermission. They need to wear out this minute 55 that's left and get a breather here. Zach Roscoe's will take on Connor Huey in the far side. Nope, we're going to send Roscoe's out. It'll be Laszlo Arose. Puck trapped on the dot. Arose trying to turn around on it. It works its way to the rear wall, but Gage Shiljan will have it. Shiljan finds Arose on a great pass, and here comes Arose along with Zach Roscoe's 2-on-2. Arose trying to dangle through, drops for Roscoe's. His shot broken up by the defense, that time of Kieran Garvey. Puck still on the near wall. Panthers battling for it. 12 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Then the Panthers will have a power play. Puck still trapped on the near side of the region zone, working its way toward the net, now skated around by Furman. Furman shoves his man out of the way and keeps battling for this puck. He's got a 2-on-2 coming. Furman cuts in, and both teams are full strength as the penalty expired. Excuse me, it's 5-on-4 for the Panthers. Minute 20 to play, 27 seconds of a power play for the Panthers. West controls in the Oregon zone. Trying to dangle with it is Connor Huey. Huey gets challenged up on that near side. They send it forward, and getting after it is Lanham. Lanham challenged hard by both Roscoe's and Hughes. Roscoe's goes to the ice. I think the puck might be right near him. Now Hughes has got it. 10 seconds of a power play for the Panthers. Here comes Tristan Hughes, even minute to play in the game. Hughes now drags around his man, goes to the dot, tries to curl in, goes low angle, no good, and deflected to the near wall. Both teams are full strength as the penalty expires. Damon sends down and he finds a Rose. A Rose wraps it around, trying to get it to the point. Stepping up is Ryan Mitchick. Mitchick holds it there. Great job by Mitchick, but it is knocked out into center ice. Big hit against Drake Baldwin, and the puck remains in center ice, but here comes Baldwin. Baldwin working on Timberlake, tries to drop it off, instead sends behind the net with 32 seconds to play. Baldwin using every bit trying to get around here. Instead, Damon takes. Damon cross ice to Hughes. Hughes hustling after that one, but getting there first is Kieran Garvey. And back to Sam Loving. Loving a nice tap, and he gets it to Pulkerbeck. Pulkerbeck into the high slot. Drops off. Good crossing maneuver here. Shot and a score. Oh, what a cross up there. An absolute killer. And delivering that score, I believe, was number 18, Devin Huey. An outstanding goal from the West Regents.
And one of the problems there is Damon stayed back to finish a check that he didn't need to, which created that odd man rush going the other way. They crossed it up, a lot of traffic in front of Ayers. Nothing you could do about it. That was just a nice setup.
Killer moves by Madison West. They take advantage of the out of position Panthers, and they now lead 5-2 with 15 seconds to play here in the second period. The first goal, the first non-Drake Baldwin goal for West. 13 seconds to go as the draw remains in center ice. West dumps it in, the Regents do, and there's 8 seconds to play as Carson Timberlake finds it and finds Matt Strassman. Strassman has his pass picked off, but with 2 seconds to go, that will end this period. Boy, for the Panthers to have successfully killed off all of that penalty time, including, I think, about 4 minutes, and even 4 minutes of 5-on-3, if not more. I'd have to look back exactly to find out. And then to, lose a man down on a check and so end up giving up what is, to all credit to West, a gorgeous goal. That really hurts with 15 seconds to play in the period.
It does, to have that, and again, weird 7 minutes of penalties, which I still don't totally understand. And I think our consultant, Dave Parter, will be getting a message later. Only giving up 1 goal at that point. It is kind of a heartbreaker that they give up that one towards the end.
Absolutely. Just a tough way for the period to end. But as it stands, it is 5-2 in favor of Madison West. Oregon has a 3-goal deficit to dig their way out of, but they were down 3-0 at one point in the first period, rallied back. No reason they can't do it. We are going to have, nope, they're just sending them out to clear the ice. So we're going to have a little Mighty Mite competition here. We'll bring that to you, and then we will be back with the third period.
No, I think it's Chuck-a-Puck is what they're about to do.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Okay, that's right, because they were selling those earlier. If you're not familiar with Chuck-a-Puck, folks, usually they put out a cone or something. Everyone buys a puck, to donate to the team, throws it onto the ice towards the target, and whoever gets closest wins a prize. So we'll show that to you. We'll be back with the third and final period in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're watching OCAmedia's presentation of Oregon Panthers boys hockey. Welcome back, everybody, to the Madison Ice Arena. The Madison West Regents, thanks to a last-second goal, 15 seconds to go in that second period, now lead 5-2 over the visiting Oregon Panthers. And Dan, you and I were having a discussion off air. We spoke with the official scorer, got the whole lowdown. So when a player is assessed a major and a minor together, they serve the major first. That is why the Tristan Hughes penalty expired on that goal. In addition, we did confirm it was a game disqualification against Hayden Bell, and that has big implications for this Oregon team. They're 13-3 right now, in second place in the Badger South. Depending on how the game goes with Edgewood, they could easily win the Badger South. But if they pick up one more game disqualification penalty as a team, doesn't matter who it's assessed against, they will be excluded from the playoffs for this season.
One of the things we've talked about at the beginning of the season, and it was something we brought up a number of times, is how are they going to deal with taking penalties? Are they going to be able to maintain composure and maturity not to? This game has really showed they're not. They're really taking more and more penalties, and this is something that can hurt them, not just in the game, but for the season.
And as the Panthers report back to the ice, the Oregon student section is letting them hear it, slamming on the glass, trying to get their team back into it. I see the West student section has diminished in size greatly, so I'm not sure if the rink managers elected to throw some people out. Again, we're quite a ways out from the West section here, so we couldn't see what was going on. Whatever it was really irritating to both the off-ice officials and the on-ice officials, who were having a lot of discussions about it.
Yeah, and I got to give a lot of credit to the on-ice officials, because they have made it clear, and we're within hearing distance. He has made it clear that they are not going to put up with anything from the stands. And maybe that's one of the reasons this is thinned out a bit. It's hard to say, but right now, Oregon has to take a breath, take a step, get focused. It's a 3-goal deficit that they can make up if they stay out of the box and don't take bad penalties.
A lot of the penalties they've taken, as you said, have been just a result of kind of over-aggressiveness. And you see what happens. You get into a game with a tough opponent, you kind of, you're each sort of punching each other in the gut, for lack of a better word. You're doing body blows in a metaphorical sense, but that starts to become real as people try and maybe finish a check beyond what is needed, or maybe push up against the boards a little harder than you want, and that all builds, and that's what we've seen these officials trying to keep a lid on.
Absolutely, and you have to also keep in mind, one player's out of the game already. And again, I think it's concussion protocol that they pulled him out. So you got to wonder if West is able to keep composure simply because they really want to get this win, not only for their standings, for the fact that somebody took a run at their goalie.
Yeah, there is no way to motivate a team better than to go after their goalie. So 17 minutes left to play. The Panthers win that draw, and we are underway in the third and final period. Panthers dump it in on net. Easy stick save there coming up for Hedekin, and the Regents control in their own zone. Polkerbeck sends cross ice and is able to find Sam Loving, and Loving will enter on the left wing side of the Panthers zone. Tries to feed one in, lightly sticked away that time by Jacob Ayers. Puck still on the near side here. Looking to dig it out are the Panthers. They're battling there along that near side. Sorry, we're trying to get a shot to you over the student section, but Regents do control. Drop it off for Loving. He finds Baldwin. Now back to Loving. Dig it in, and it's kicked out by Ryan Mitchick. Great work by Mitchick to send that one out of the slot. Puck still on the near wall. Here's Baldwin coming toward the high slot. His shot broken up. Mitchick takes it away. Hassled from behind, but sticks with it. Sends it out to Roscos. Roscos gets it up to Hughes, but Hughes has it stripped away. Great breakup in the center, and now Hughes will take it on the near side, skate around, let his team get a change with 16:08 to play. Finds Tyson Rohrer. Rohrer enters with a rose. Rohrer now coming toward the center. His shot goes wide and rings around the far wall. Rohrer still trying to get after it, but a nice clear out by the Regents sends it all the way into Panther territory. Matt Rush will take it. We have not seen a whole lot of Matt Rush in this game, but he's in now, trying to get it past the attack of the Regents. The Regents control, though. Felix Gian curling around and heading to the far side. Moves that one up to the point for Garvey. Garvey's point shot is broken up by Tristan Hughes. Elliott Held sends down, though, into the corner and behind the net. Trying to get it is Connor Huey, but it's going to be taken by Garson Timberlake. Timberlake ahead to Damon. Held can't hold it in the center, but now he's able to turn it around and dump that one into Oregon territory. 15:29 to play in the game. Matt Rush picking this one up far side. Gets it ahead to Laszlo Arose. Arose high up off the wall and sends that one all the way into West territory. Nice clear, and let a line change come for the Panthers. 15:18 to go in the third period. Regents control in their own zone. Playing with it is Kieran Garvey, challenged by Arose. Now he's got some open room to skate. Sends up and moves along, but a nice job by Timberlake to take it away from Riley Lanham. Timberlake still controls for the Panthers, trying to move around behind the net, gets past Elliott Held and controls there. Sends up towards Laszlo Rose. Rose, nice job to move around. Now up to the point and move across to Timberlake. Timberlake has it go right off the skate. A great play by Riley Lanham to knock it into center ice where Timberlake will control. Moves back to Mitchik. Mitchik tries for a lead pass to Damon. Hand up for icing as it went past everybody, and that will be the call. We'll head to the Panthers zone for a faceoff.
Yeah, the Panthers are trying real hard to generate something down in their offensive end, and they're having a hard time because the Berger holders are doing a
the Regents,
my bad, are doing a great job of taking away time and space, and that's really making it difficult for Oregon to get something generating.
14:42 to play. The Panthers do win the draw, and it's Andy Ziamek moving nicely in front of the board. Skirts that one forward, no ice the call, and it will come all the way into the Regent zone. Joe Clark sends that one up the near side, but Gage Chilton coming in, moves it back down. Clark challenging. Lots of players getting involved now on the near wall. Winding and firing as Jake Fountain deflected down and goes to the rear wall. Matt Strassman trying to dig it off there. He's challenged by Ronabot. Ronabot able to move it near side and gets it up to Mack. Mack continuing it forward. Regents control. Move out into center ice. Now they send cross ice. Great break up by Gage Chilton. He's got Ziamek with him. Ziamek top of the far circle. Tries to move around, but Mack takes it away, and here comes Marcus Mack. Marcus Mack 3-on-2 as he enters the zone. He's got Baldwin across. Loses control as it's knocked off by Timberlake, but he regrabs and sends to the point. Held there and rifled in by Polkrebeck, but a great block by that, and we've got a hand up, delayed penalty coming. Slashing the call, and Andy Ziamek will spend 2 minutes in the box for slashing with 13:53 to play in the game.
Yeah, I got to be honest, did not see that one. But again, the refs are watching everything, and I haven't seen anything yet that seems like West is pushing anything. But again, it's just these situations that happen that put Oregon in a lot of trouble.
Face-off in the Panther zone as it's a 2-minute power play for West. West controls on the near side, looking to dig it around. It's Furman who sends down and Baldwin. And now we've got a whistle coming. Cross-check, and this one should go against West. So we will be even up 4-on-4. Not sure who exactly got whistled for it. No, I'm sorry. I thought it was against West, but it's actually against Oregon. It's Tristan Hughes, 2 minutes for cross-checking. And so with 13:45 to go, we'll have another 5-on-3 for Oregon to kill off. And Hughes is arguing with the ref here, and this is not going to help him. I think it's time to just get to the box.
Yeah, it's never a good idea to discuss with the refs at this point. I mean, you've got Timberlake coming over. He's looking to get some clarification. You got to worry that you might get an extra call here.
Right. The last thing you want to do is end up with a misconduct or a double minor, anything like that. So unfortunately for Oregon, they face another 5-on-3 challenge. Minute 52 of 5-on-3, then 8 seconds of 5-on-4. West in perfect position to get an insurance goal here. They are already up 5-2 with 13:45 to play. Drake Baldwin against Zach Roscos. Roscos wins it back to Timberlake. Timberlake sends it along, and Bryce McLeod's going to be able to pick this one up and clear this one out. Bryce McLeod, another player we have not seen a lot of tonight, but does a great job there on the clearing pass. Minute 39 on the 5-on-3, 13:30 to play in the game. Madison West up 5-2 over the Oregon Panthers. Dean Furman enters right wing side. Gets challenged and forced all the way behind the net by Timberlake. Turning it around, sends to the point, and gets that one to Garvey. Opposite side point, they find Loving. Loving working his way towards the high slot. Takes the shot, deflects up high and into the safety nets. Out of play face-off coming.
And again, when they're on 5-on-3, they do a great job of keeping everything to the outside. And what surprises me is West isn't doing a good job of collapsing, forcing that congestion in the middle, and that's benefiting the Panthers right now. But this is another 2 minutes that they have to kill off.
Connor Huey against Zach Roscos. Roscos does win it back. McLeod trying to turn on it. His stick getting hassled there, but it's going to come to Zach Roscos, and here comes Roscos. He'll play with this one and then dump it in order to kill as much time as he can. Minute 9 on the 5-on-3, 13 minutes even in the third period. West bringing it back up in the person of Kieran Garvey. Garvey goes for a long pass. They get the one-touch in. Hand is up and icing the call. Tap that behind the red line, and a miscue from West gets a advantageous breakup for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's one you never want to see when you're on a 5-on-3, is to actually get an icing, because you've got all day to move it up. Don't look for that fancy pass. If you don't see what you like, spin it around back and come back the other way.
12:52 to play in the game. 59 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Face-off is won by West, and they will skate it up. Cross ice pass goes to Sam Loving. He comes in on the far side. Feed across for Baldwin. Tries the backhand one-timer. It's no good. Instead, Pulkerbeck takes it on the far wall. Up to the point for Garvey. Back to Pulkerbeck now, outer hashes. Panthers in the triangle defense. Swings over the top of it. Trying to get in there is Tyson Rohrer. He nearly had it. Lost track of it, though, and now he does break it up. Tyson Rohrer, a one-man stick-checking machine, knocks this one out into center ice. Here comes Devin Furman. Furman working his way towards the dot. Tries to get around, can't do it. Now low angle pass. Oh, great pass into center. Oh, Baldwin over the top. Now looking to turn around. Instead, he'll head to the point and drop it off for Garvey. Garvey moves it down low on the near side. Mitchell puts some pressure on, works its way to the slot, but squirts out. 12 seconds left on the 5-on-3 with 12:04 to play in the game. West still controlling. Find Baldwin top of the circle. Now move it back and send to the point for Garvey. Garvey at the point, 2 seconds, 1, and Zymek is back on the ice, 5-on-4 for 8 seconds. Trying to work it in, can't do it, is Riley Lanham. Now looking to dig this one out is Gage Shilton. Shilton off the wall, but Baldwin takes it. Baldwin backhand across, shot and a, oh man, right through the net mouth. Ayers on his back, but he gets up, and that one's sent out into center ice. Here comes Tristan Hughes. Hughes tries to work around Dean Furman. Ticks it up on the near wall. Both teams full strength as all the penalties have expired. 11:29 to play as Hughes behind the net continues to control for the Panthers and skates all the way to the far side. Drops it back off, but it's picked up by Baldwin. Knocked into center briefly, but taken, oh, nearly held by Damon at the blue line, but he does control possession. Great feed across to Rohrer. Rohrer takes a shot, a glove save. Tries to follow second chance, no good. Up to the point for Matt Rush. Rush holds it, no, breaking away is Baldwin. Stride for stride with him is Carson Timberlake. Timberlake, great tap out, knocks it to Rush, and Rush continues clearing. Oh, quick shot coming in from Charlie Cutting, but it's wide of the cage. 10:58 to play. Big hit delivered by Matt Rush, and now he gets the puck on the far wall. Tries to send it forward, but it's taken away once again. Nice job by Laszlo Rose to keep fighting. Can't get it up to Damon, though, and Elliott Held will knock it back into the Panther zone. 10:45 to play. The Regions are still up 5-2. Puck on the near wall in the corner of the Panther zone. Matt Rush looks to clear it out, finds Laszlo Rose. Rose skating with it. He's well ahead of his teammate. He'll just chip that one in and let them get a change here with 10:30 to play. Regions controlling. Great job by Damon taking that one out of midair. Delivers a forward-checking hit, but instead it's gathered up by Nico Ranabot, and he dumps this into the Panther zone. Mitchell will pick it up there in the corner. Turns around in front of his man. Tries to get around Damon. He does, and with 10:15 to go, here comes Ryan Mitchell and the Oregon Panthers. Mitchell looking for that lead pass. Trying to tap it in is Jake Fountain. Instead, Held picks it off, and now it's Connor Huey. Huey behind the defense, trying to get that backhand on. Send into center where Gage Shilton gets it, and we've got a penalty coming up against Ryan Mitchell, holding the call, and he'll spend 2 minutes in the box.
And again, that was an easy call to make. He wrapped him up, brought him down. You got to wonder, is it a smart penalty to take in a situation like that? But either way, it's another 2 minutes that Oregon is not going to be able to force offensively.
No, and with a 3-goal deficit against a very competent Madison West team, giving them freebies like this is just making it harder and harder, and the clock is ticking down. 10:02 to play in the game. 10:03, 2-minute power play for Madison West after the holding call against Ryan Mitchell. On-ice official having a discussion here with the Panthers student section. Not sure who he's speaking with.
It's a parent.
And it is one of the parents, yeah. And the official has ejected him from the site. And that parent turns back and gives a smirk to the official. I have to say, not covering himself in glory there as that parent, as the rink management escorts him away. Unfortunate to see that kind of behavior from a parent. So 5-on-4 power play coming after that disruption. And the parent standing at the corner of the boards, not wanting to leave. The official telling him you do have to leave the rink area. So now we're ready to play hockey once again. Faceoff comes right towards the net, but a great stop by Timberlake and a great clear from Carson Timberlake, the captain of these Oregon Panthers. 9:57 to play, a little confusion from Hedekin. Great tap from Zach Roscoe's, putting the forecheck pressure on. Rohrer continuing to follow up, and the Panthers have a shorthanded opportunity here. Tyson Rohrer delivering around, trying to stay with this puck as the Regions now are going to be able to break it free. No, Rohrer gets it again, and again it's cleared. This again, a high clear on the bench side from Shilton, ends up out of play. And we will get a face-off. What a forecheck push there from the Oregon.
It really was. They were pushing hard, pushing forward. They're trying to generate anything they can. And again, Oregon's got to dig deep. They just need to stay out of the box.
Hughes in the faceoff dot. He's taking on Sam Loving. Faceoff is won by the Regents, and they move it to Furman. Furman from the center line rifles one in along the glass and sends it to the far side. Gage Chilton looks to take it there. Instead, it's picked up by Loving behind the Panther net. 9:22 to play. Minute 23 on the power play. Furman center point now, fakes the shot and drops it back down. Stepping up as Baldwin, now to Loving. Loving low angle, feeds in center. It's taken by Shilton and cleared out nicely by Gage Shilton. Minute 10 to go on the power play. 9:12 to play in the game. As skating back to pick it up is Kieran Garvey. Garvey turns around through his own slot, gets a lead pass to Dean Furman. Stepping up though and taking that one away is Timberlake, but Furman plays it nicely on the wall and holds. Furman across, finds Baldwin. Baldwin a shot and a score. You cannot give Drake Baldwin that kind of open space, and the broken play right here in front of the penalty bench leads to another Drake Baldwin goal. It's 6-2 Madison West.
Yeah, and again, if you give this team that many power plays, it's going to eventually end badly. And again, I guess I'm a little distracted by what's going on in the stands.
I have to agree.
I mean, we've been doing hockey games for how many years now, and I've never quite experienced something quite like this.
No, this one, we'll talk about that after the end of the game. But with 8:57 to go, Panthers find themselves in a 4-goal hole. The penalty does expire on the goal. I think that one hit the stanchion out of play, and so we'll get an out-of-play face-off as that one got up a little high and into the rubber. But 6-2, a 4-goal deficit with 8:52 to play. The Panthers just really have dug quite a hole for themselves here.
It really has, and I mean, one guy has done most of the damage here in
Drake Baldwin.
Drake Baldwin
5 of the 6 goals. For him.
Big game for him tonight.
Oh man, he's their leading scorer for a reason. You can see why. Ryan Mitchell controlling behind the Panther net. Zach Roscos has it there. Nice feed through the legs to get it out into center ice. Roar nearly chops at it, but instead Devin Huey brings it in. Feeds across. Nice feed, but a good hit by Mitchell to knock him off that puck. Connor Huey holding there, trying to get it in. Mitchell putting some pressure on. Attempting help out is Felix Giang, but instead Roscos takes it away on the far wall. Roscos able to send into center ice. Elliott held there, has it stripped by Hughes. Hughes a great pass to Roar. Roar a nice little dangle, and he gets this one into the West territory. 8:16 to play as he sends through center. Nobody there except Regents, and they turn it around to the near side. Shilton pinching up on D. He's able to force it back down towards Roscos. Now up to the point for Hughes. Hughes sends it back down, finds Roscos again. Roscos on the near wall, but instead skated away by Devin Huey. Huey has it stripped by Hughes. Hughes feed into center. Roar, a shot deflected away by Elliott Held, and comes to the near wall with 7:53 to play. Still 6-2 in favor of Madison West. Roscos on the near wall trying to get it. Grabbed instead by Lanneman, but now Roscos has it again, and he finds Gage Shilton. Back to Roscos. Roscos feed to center, deflects off the back of the skate of Hedekid, and now finds Roar. Roar on the outside, drops it off for Roscos. Feed in, shot one-timer from Timberlake, keeps fighting at it, and he's taken to the ground. We get a little bit after that. I don't think West appreciated the wax delivered to their goaltender, but no goal as Hedekin's able to cover it up.
Well, I'm always one to back the goaltender, but he didn't have it covered. It was wide open.
Clean play. Clean play.
And that's what's going to happen, and that's the most life we've seen from Oregon probably since that whole penalty fiasco in the second period.
They were set up on offense there, running plays, trying to get things to work. 7:33 to go. It'll be Andy Ziamek taking on Nico Ronabat in the far side of the West zone. Ronabat able to win it back for West. They control. Joe Clark moves up the wall. Wind and a shot from Matt Rush, deflected high by Madison West, but they're able to pick it back up and lead it forward. Carrying this one now is Duchemin. Duchemin dumps that one in. West enters barely on sides, but a nice job to hold that blue line and feed it down. Puck in the near corner, now sent towards the slots. Slapping at it baseball style is Charlie Cutting, but he can't get it on, and the puck ends up back behind the wall once again. Moving it forward is Timberlake along the near side. Panthers try and get it, can't do it. Skated around by Cutting and sent towards the slot. It works its way right in front of Ayers, who wisely dives on top, and a late shot delivered after the play. Both teams taking exception, but the referees just settle it down. 6:57 to go in the game.
And again, watch Ayers. He's just skating away, staying calm. I mean, you can't blame him for this score.
No,
You just can't. And he has been, I think, the model of composure in a game that has lacked a lot of composure.
Without a doubt. Face-off this time is won by the Panthers, and they send it out. And striding after it is Tyler Damon, trying to get there before Garvey. Damon fires up, but it does come to the wall. Wine shot, and we find Ayers in the center side. Hit the post. Delayed penalty coming up against Madison West. Interference is the call, and so now the Panthers finally have an opportunity as Kieran Garvey is whistled for interference. 5-on-4 power play for 2 minutes for the Panthers.
Yeah, but that post is going to come back to haunt him, because that would have been a big change in momentum here that would have given Oregon a little breath of life. There's 6:44 left in this period. They got to find 4 goals in a hurry.
2-minute power play coming up for the Panthers. Face-off in the West zone is won by West and skated forward by Sam Loving. He'll tap that one in and let the Panthers go after it. Jacob Ayers stops it behind the net with 6:37 to go in the period. Hughes moves it across to Roscos. Roscos loses it off the back of the skate. Loving still putting pressure on, but Roscos able to take it and get it to Hughes. Minute 44 on the power play as they get across ice to Timberlake. Timberlake chips it along for Rohrer, but instead Elliott Held grabs it, clears it out. No great hold by Roscos at the blue line. Can't quite stop it. And here comes Drake Baldwin, shorthanded breakaway. Baldwin slot and a score. Second time we've seen him do that. He did it in the first period. He does it here now. Victimizes the Panthers shorthanded and makes it 7-2.
And Hughes just got a penalty. He was yelling at the ref, and he just found himself in the box again. And this is where and now how the ref calls this is going to be very
2-10, so we're calling it a misconduct there. Yep, so there is not enough time left for him to serve the 10-minute misconduct, so they will just send him to the locker room. But a 2-10, the referee indicating. So 2 minutes, minor penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, a 10-minute misconduct for unsportsmanlike conduct. Tristan Hughes' day is done as the Panthers trail 7-2.
And right now, this is a team that seems to be lacking leadership. It really does. I think you could make the argument, I think you could honestly make an argument that they have not gotten the benefit of a lot of calls. Granted, I don't think there have been a lot of missed ones, but this is the time where a team needs to take a breath and try to go ahead and get some kind of control.
And you and I mean, I don't think we're going to hesitate when we see what we feel like is a missed call or a blown call. We said in that Edgewood game we had some difficulties with the officiating. Here, I've got to give the officials credit. They have faced some difficult circumstances, and I think have done a superlative job maintaining control of this match.
Absolutely. I definitely think the refs have done a great job in this game.
6:10 to play in the game. Panthers are on a 2-minute shorthanded attempt here with 6:05 to go. Excuse me, it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 20. And then it will be a power play for West. Gage Children controls here in center ice, working his way up the near side. Taps it into the West zone where it's stopped up by Devin Huey. Huey will circle behind his net with 5:50 to play. West is on top. I don't think they incremented for that goal. I'm pretty sure it is 7-2 here tonight, but shows 6-2 on the scoreboard. Controlling that puck is Colin Polkerbeck. Moves it ahead for Elliott Held, and Held one on his own right wing side of the Panthers territory. Goes all the way to the corner, has it tapped off his stick by Gage Children, but stays with it. Good stop up, and now sends to the point for Devin Huey. Huey works to the opposite point, finds Connor Huey, his brother. Broken up though by Colton Ayers, but stepping up is Devin and moves that one down. Ryan Mitchell there trying to get it forward. Connor Huey getting in the way. Great job by Colton Ayers to pinch it. And now Damon has a chance on the change. Nice back check though from West, and they prevent him from getting much of anything, but it will allow the Panthers to get a line change. 5:02 to play in this game. 24 seconds left on the even strength, and then we'll have about 30 seconds of West power play. Rohrer can't settle that pass down. It comes into neutral ice where West will take it with an even 5 to go. Boy, a dangerous pass there from West as they work it deep into their own territory. Joe Clark back behind his net. Pressure coming from Tyson Rohrer. Rohr trying to get it, but a good job by Clark to tap it forward. And now Felix Jiang will have it into center ice, where Bryce McLeod takes over for the Panthers. Here comes Carson Timberlake, and now it's a 5-on-4 power play for West. Timberlake's shot is a stick save from Hedekin, but Rohr still has it for the Panthers. Rohr knocked off it by Clark, still trying to turn on it, but Clark's got it. We've got 18 seconds of a power play for West, but the Panthers are holding them in their own zone. Rohr looking to get this one. Jiang instead holds at the blue line for the Regents and feeds across to Connor Huey. Huey challenged by Timberlake. Now setting up, trying to get it in. Feeds one in on net. Easy stick save for Ayers. Timberlake back behind the net, battling for it, along with Riley Lanneman. Puck still back there. Connor Huey's got it, and now both teams full strength as the Zymek penalty expires. 4:10 to play in the game. West up by 5, 7-2 here at the Madison Ice Arena in the third and final period. And now here comes Zymek and Zach Roscoe trying to get after this one. Zymek rides his man right into the boards, and here comes Roscoe with Rohr. Roscoe a shot and a stick save. Rohr is going to try and dig this one off the wall and get it back into center. 3:52 to play as Rohr takes it all the way behind the net, gets pushed up against the wall by Furman, still battling for it, trying to dig it free, but now the Regents able to take it away. Regents tap forward, find Jiang. Jiang working on Gage Shilton. Now he takes a huge hit from Carson Timberlake, and it'll be Jake Found to pick this puck up. Finds Gage Shilton near wall. 3:32 to play. Shilton challenged right there at the blue line, but they do get the puck out, and now we've got a big whistle. I didn't see this right in front of the student section with the students standing. Holding is the signal from the referee, but I do not know. I think Gage Shilton is going to be the responsible party here. Yep, Gage Shilton sent to the box, so he gets 2 minutes for holding with 3:29 to go in the game.
And again, I don't understand the logic in the players talking back to the refs. When has that ever changed a call? Have you ever seen somebody say, well, no, I didn't? The ref's like, oh, my bad.
You make a good argument. You're right. I shouldn't have called that. No, I completely agree. And again, we'll have quite a bit to say at the end of this game. Off the draw, though, the Panthers on the penalty kill once again. They do send it to the point, but it is held by the Regents, sent back down. Trying to clear this one out is Matt Rush. Nice job to turn around 2 different men along the near side. Sends it up towards the point and is able to clear it out. Swatted right out of midair, but it's played with a high stick by Elliott Held. Him credit, that's a hard puck to hit that high, but it was a high stick. We'll head over to their zone.
It really is. And now you got 3:11 left. A minute 42 of that, you're killing another penalty. You've lost 2 players from your team. At this point, you just want this clock to just end.
Absolutely. Carrying this one forward is Max Chambers. We haven't seen the freshman all game. Now he's getting a little experience with the scoreboard showing 7-2. Puck into the Panthers territory. Colton Ayers doing a nice job to get after it, but it's going to be held by the Regents, and they work it down to Loving. Loving moves across to Joe Shack. Shack right into center, and nearly getting the score was Max Chambers, who has not had a point this season. Nearly gets his first there. Minute 20 to go on the power play. 2:47 to play in the game. Puck comes all the way to the far side point where Devin Huey will have it and get it back down to Shack. Shack again into center. Again for Chambers. No good. They're trying to get him that goal. Sam Loving controls, and he finds it again all the way across. Move it to Held. Held fires a shot. It hits the skate. Second chance. No good. A glove save from Ayers. Trying to clear it is Colton Ayers, and Ayers does clear it. Striding after it is Laszlo Arose. Arose putting pressure on Elliott Held. Held's going to stop up. Nice move to move around his man and come back the other way. Arose still putting that forecheck pressure on. 2:16 to go in the game. 47 seconds on the power play. Arose now does lead it forward for Ronabat. Ronabat on the near side's got a man in the center. Stops up. Timberlake putting the pressure on. And the puck up to the near point. Now working it down into the corner. Trying to get it there is Charlie Cutting. Leaves it for Ronabat again. And he'll hold for the Regents. Cutting now near wall. Tries to send up to the point. It goes errant, and striding after that one is Tyson Rohr. They move it past him. Cutting gets hit at center ice, but he's able to get it forward to Duchemin. Duchemin enters off sides. They tried to sort of turn around each other. Couldn't coordinate the timing, get the offsides call.
I think that's only like the 3rd offsides we've seen in this game.
Very few in this game.
Yeah, most of the whistles that have either come from icings or obviously penalties.
I think way more penalties than icings, which is itself quite unusual. Yeah. Minute 48 to play in the game. 19 seconds left on the power play. Roscoe knocks down, but is able to get that one out, and I think it's going to be tripping against West. Tripping is the signal, and being whistled is the aforementioned Max Chambers. I'm sorry, he's a junior, a forward who's a junior, so I read that wrong. Has not had a point this season. Instead whistled for a tripping penalty with a minute 45 to play.
Yeah, it just seems to keep going from bad to worse in so many different ways.
Just a lot of penalties in this game.
Yeah, you're getting writer's cramp.
I know. Minute 45 to go. Faceoff is won by the Regents in their own zone. We'll be 4-on-4 for 13 seconds. Then it'll be an Oregon power play. Skating ahead now is Sam Loving for West. He tries to send it forward. It goes all the way down and behind the Oregon net. Joe Shack can't handle it there. Instead, Carson Timberlake takes away. Timberlake and his men stride the other direction, and both teams are the Panthers are full strength. They've got a 5-on-4 power play. Feed to Roscos, the one-timer, no good. Shack knocked off that puck. Rohr can get after it at the point. Can't quite hold it, though, and instead it comes out to Fountain at center ice. Timberlake enters near side now. Feed into center for Zach Roscos. Knocked off his stick and knocked out of the zone by Marcus Mack. Ryan Mitchell drops one back, but Mack following has to stop up at the blue line. Wisely holds it and then dumps it in. Great play from Marcus Mack, but the puck is turned around and sent back into the West zone. Good forecheck from the Panthers, but they can't quite get it, and here comes an odd skater rush for Madison West. Felix Giang near side. Feed across, it's behind his intended man, and Jake Fountain's coming out. He's got a possible 3-on-2 with Strassman. Gets the pass ahead to Rohr. Rohr's going to have to follow after it with 44 seconds to go. Rohr dumps it behind the net, still chasing. The power play will last for the rest of the game here for the Panthers. Rohr works his way across, instead finds Fountain near wall. Now opposite point, Matt Rush. Matt Rush, top of the far circle. Shot and a glove save from Hedekin. Makes it look easy. 30 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, he was able to track that one in. There was no good traffic up front. They did a good job of moving that puck around, getting it high and low and side to side. They just didn't get the traffic they needed. But Rush has that deceptive shot, and he can really lean into it if necessary.
Zymek in the faceoff dot, taking on Charlie Cutting with 30 seconds to play. Cutting does win it, sends it to the point, and actually gets it through the legs of Rush. And now striding after it is Alex Duchemin. Gage Children will get there first for the Panthers. Curls around, turns around on Duchemin, and sends it up the near wall. Fountain picks up a pass there, now moves it forward for Zymek. It's knocked back toward the blue line, but Strassman covers. Strassman entering the zone. High slot, a shot, and an easy glove again from Hedekin. 22 seconds to play.
Yeah, and at this point, I think they're sitting a lot of the players who maybe got a little overzealous. I mean, we see a lot of people sitting on the bench there that we know aren't going to see any more time in this game. And they're running the clock.
I thought that was for a 6-goal lead, but apparently 5-goal lead is enough. So we do have a running clock, 10 seconds to play. 7-2 is the score as we get Gage Children off, and I think maybe the referees are just going to let it go. There's the final drop, or what likely will be the final drop. It's controlled by West. Moving behind his net is Duchemin. He gets hassled there against the wall, and that will be the conclusion. 7-2, the Regents game. You and I called a game last season for the Panthers against Aquinas, which is a co-op school from a co-op team from the La Crosse area. That game, there were a number of unfortunate penalties, including a Strassman call for boarding, which was really related to him sort of losing track of the play. Nevertheless, after that game, we saw Coach Yachman get in front of the line and let his players know what he's expecting from them. Here we see both teams getting together, shaking hands, and I'm glad to see that we're not having any nonsense in the shake hands line here.
Yeah, I think that's the game where when you asked me for my picks, I picked no one, and I went with the refs.
Right.
I
believe it was.
I think I did, and this game easily could have gone that way. And again, there's going to be lots of stuff to talk about when all this is done, but Oregon needs to find a way to maintain composure and discipline so that they don't find themselves in this type of game, because they can't win when they're shorthanded for over 70% of the game.
No, beyond a doubt. Nice to see both teams too shaking hands with the officials, and we mentioned it earlier, but let's be as explicit as we can about this. These on-ice officials did a tremendous job with not just a difficult game, but a difficult crowd. One of the referees was forced to eject a parent, a parent who then refused to leave, and he had to make sure to enforce his decision. I give all three of them tremendous credit for a game well handled.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, the on-ice officials did a tremendous job. And I don't like to be critical of refs ever, but I have been in the past. I've been really impressed with the way these refs have maintained this game. So absolutely very impressed with how they did in this game.
Huge credit to the on-ice officials. Let's talk about the game as it happened. 3-0, a quick early lead for West thanks to a hat trick, a shorthanded, and 2 power play goals from Drake Baldwin. And that third goal came with 9:14 left on the clock in the first period. So it felt like, boy, maybe West is going to run away with this one. Oregon, though, got themselves composed, got back into their game. Those quick passes, the puck movement down low in front of the net, got 2 of those back. We went into the first period intermission with a 3-2 game, but we were starting to see signs that things might kind of get out of hand.
Yeah, we talked about it when we were off air, which was they need to take a breath. They've got to finish off killing that 5-on-3, which they managed to do. And then not too long thereafter, it was just that cavalcade of call after call. And I know we were really close to the Oregon fans and to the Oregon parents, and they didn't seem to think all those calls were right. But I got to tell you, I'd say 95% of them were. There was only one that I really had a question with.
Yeah, and I think you sort of surrender some of your ability to question calls when you're taking call after call after call. You've got to know that the refs are going to be in kind of a heightened state. They're going to be watching for things when they're having to whistle you again and again and again.
Yeah, and you have to be in control out there, and it was obvious that the emotion was running high. And I said it. It seems like there's a lack of leadership either on the ice, on the bench, or in the locker room. Not sure where, but that game went out of control, and somebody should have reined it in.
And then we need to talk about the biggest penalty of them all, which is the game disqualification against Hayden Bell for the obscene gesture. That means that the Panthers are now in a position where if they take one more game disqualification, and granted, that's a heavy penalty, but they've already taken 2 in this season.
Yeah.
If they take one more, they don't get to go to the playoffs no matter how well they finish out, which would just be an absolute crush of a way to end the season, considering how well they've played overall.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we knew early in the season the refs had their eye on Oregon because they started to get that reputation of being a little bit too physical, a little bit too cheap, a little bit too dirty. And then they started to go away from that. They're kind of all back in that. And I got to admit, I'm surprised the Hughes ejection didn't garner more of a penalty because I could hear what he was saying to the ref, and it wasn't pretty.
No, and he also, I mean, that was not the first time that he was jawing with the officials. And as you talked about during the game, we both did, you just can't be yakking with the officials. I mean, there's a reason they restrict that to the captain and the alternate captains. The officials need to maintain order, and they're the final word. No matter what you think about that call, A, you're not going to get them to change it, and B, you need to have enough respect for the work that they're doing to not be hassling them as they're trying to do their job.
And again, when in the history of sports has a parent from the stands ever changed the mind of a goal or of an official to say, you know, I didn't take that into consideration.
Now that you mention it.
You obviously, you're rooting for your team, you're rooting for your kid, but they're kids.
Yes.
Okay? Nobody here is making $10 million with Adidas. They need to make sure that spectators need to be just that. And a couple times, the people over here, the people down in there, and a parent ended up being more of a distraction in the game than some of the other penalties.
All right, well, let's finish on a positive note. 1 star from each team. Who do you like?
Okay, for Oregon, Tyson Rohr. He was
right there with you.
He was everywhere. He just was never ending. He played every shift he had 100%. And I don't know if he ended up in the box at all. I don't think he did.
I think he might have once. Let me double check.
Maybe?
Yeah, he got tagged for a cross check in the second period.
But he just never, ever quit. And on the other side, I'm going to go with Dean Furman. I mean, the easy pick obviously would be Baldwin. But when you look at the things that Furman did and set up, it was just fun to watch. I want to make a big asterisk on one of these. I got to give a lot of respect to Ayers. He, even though he let in 7, was constantly composed, never looked out or out of control. That's the composure that needs to spread to that bench and that locker room. Hats off to Ayers.
Completely agree on both of those. For myself, for Madison West, I like Sam Loving. Sam Loving was anchoring the point for them, and he reminds me a lot of Gage Shilgen. He's a little bit bigger, so he's involved a little more in some of these physical plays, but he holds that point like nobody's business. They could rim that puck to his side all day and guarantee that he's going to grab it, going to distribute it. He did a great job moving through the neutral zone, great job in his defensive play. Thought he looked excellent for them. And then for the Panthers, I want to go with Ryan Mitchick. Ryan Mitchick was a player last year that we talked about, I think, a little bit more than we have this year. Just because of the way the roster has fallen out, I feel like his role has been diminished a little bit from what it was last year. But when you see him, especially on the penalty kill, that is a tough, tough guy out there.
Yeah.
And battles for the puck, does a great job clearing it on those PKs, plays a strong, strong brand of defense, and I liked what I saw from him tonight.
Couldn't agree more on both of those. Great players, good game.
All right, folks. 7-2 is how this one ends up. The West Regions take home a big win against the Oregon Panthers. For our camera operator and producer, Peyton Cardella, my partner, Dan Graychuk, my name is Zach Seeloff, saying so long, and we will see you on Tuesday. Take care, everybody.